Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Human Development Laboratory. My name is Tony, and I'm going to be host for this session. Hear that? Your host. And being professional. What is going on with that? All right. Trading. Let's get into it. All right. So I've already created my PMA. We already know what we did on my PMA in this particular day. I did this day earlier today. I'm doing it again because I didn't like the results. I didn't like the results at all the first time I traded this day. I was kind of all over the place. Well, I wasn't all over the place. I was doing really well, and then I lost focus. And when I lose focus, what happens? I don't trade very well. And yeah, this is what happens when I'm over here. US Man Barry. Hello, how's it going? It's good to see you. I'm doing great. How about yourself? How are you doing? How is life treating you on this fine Sunday? Wherever you are in your neck of the woods. But I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I appreciate you. It's good to have you. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm going to be replaying July 2nd, 2026 from the US Open. And so immediately, right, price action starts coming down. We're below VWAP, coming down into an area, creating some high volume in here. It's creating some more high volume in here. We extend that range, we get above that range. I'm going to go ahead and go long at the open. Now, most individuals will say, don't go long at the open, right? I'll say, oh, don't do that. It's gambling. It's this, it's that. When you have an area beneath you and price actions making volume above you, you can go ahead and scalp that direction. That's not gambling. That's scalping, anticipating price action to react out of your area. Okay? So that's just an example of trading. We're below VWAP at the open. We're above it. We come down into our area from a 30-minute perspective, and then price action rejects from that area, and you're looking for a continuation to the upside. In a scalp, though, don't expect to hold that position, too much volatility, scalp the volatility, all right? And if we want to, we could even turn around and say, okay, if it comes back down to this area, we'll buy another one. We'll see. We'll see if it comes back down and hits us. And of course, because it's the open, just go ahead and put a stop in and protect yourself. Retired CO, welcome. It's good to see you. Does that mean you're a retired commanding officer? Just curious. So what branch? If you don't mind me asking. And if not, well then, I completely read that completely wrong, so, you know. And price actions just continue to move higher here. Nothing major, nothing we want concerned with, nothing we really want to deal with at the moment. It's just doing what it's doing, because that's what price does. It just kind of does what it does. We can't control price. We can only anticipate what it could do and then take action based upon what it could do. It doesn't care about what we think. It doesn't care about our plans. It doesn't care about anything else. We're strictly here to say, okay, we're participants. You're the result of our participation. And every trader is a participant in the market when they enter it. And what we're doing is reading the participants as the result of price. So price is moving up now, right? From participants getting a little bit aggressive here off the lows, and price action's moving up. Now it's moving back down again. What is that telling us? Sellers are in control or buyers are in control. And then what we're doing is just utilizing that information and how to read it in real time. See how we came above the open? Look at Delta. Delta did not come up at all there. Anticipate price action to continue to move down and break the low of this bar. We haven't made it down to the low. Still now at the open, right? Coming up, watch delta. If delta goes positive, anticipate price action to come up and test the high. Okay? There's a positive. Now anticipate the high. And if we don't get up there, we have resistance here and we have support down here. This is where we came in and tested on down delta and couldn't get lower. And this is where now we've tested above and can't get higher. And now we're probably going to push out of this high because of the delta coming in and the push of delta into the close of this bar. Am I trading GEX level? No, MetaTrader, no, I am not. I do not trade GEX levels. But thank you for asking, though. I trade auction market theory and order flow. That's what I trade. Out of key levels that I create for myself. Key areas of interest. I don't think there's anything wrong with GEX levels. I just never got into them. We didn't have GEX levels in 1998 when I first started trading. I will add tools if I find that I need more tools, but I'm doing just fine without them. No sense of adding complication to a system or situation that's already working, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this down here. We're moving up. Price action is probably not going to come back down and test that area. Dealer positioning levels, I keep it simple. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I trade auction market theory. Here's my plan for the day. Price action is just moving up. We're not in a rotational market. Anticipate price action to continue to move higher. It really is that simple. Here's unfair lows. Here's, low volume. Anticipate price action to move through there pretty rapidly. We're already holding this area below us, and that's about it. And then it's just trading around those areas. Do have VWAP and a few other things, to help kind of time the entries a little bit, but yeah. Exactly. We don't understand that price reacts where the most volume and contract are located. Exactly. Yes. The most price acting as a magnet, right? And then the price where least volume happened, possible rejection because we haven't spent much time there. If we become rotational in that area, it's a decent area to scalp because we're probably going to stay around that area because we're rotational down there for a reason. Price is trying to figure out what it wants to do and what's happening. Market makers that are still in the market are trying to make a market because the participants aren't doing anything else. And they're able to turn around and control that area pretty well amongst themselves and trading their own account, providing that market until one side of the participants decides to go ahead and get aggressive. And one side of the participants usually gets aggressive in those situations that happen. So you just trade the range until it turns around and breaks out. VWAP, I use a scalp. I love it. Exactly. Yeah. Bigger the number, the stronger the magnet. 100%. Yep, you're speaking my language. You want to do the stream for me because you're doing a really damn good job, Fallout Bear. Doing a damn good job. Yep, and those high price areas are magnet for reversals. They can be absolutely, but before the reversal, anticipate. Price action to consolidate in that area before it moves. Right? Like right now, we're around value area low, which is a higher volume area in the context of current market condition, right? And what's happening, we're trading around the area a little bit, right? And it gives us time to be able to develop our position of what we're looking for in the connection, in the context of direction, right? Yeah, I'm using deep charts. Got in a little bit early into this position, down 414 right now, at VWAP, holding it, beautiful. That's why I wanted to wait and see. I can add down here into the position, and I can get myself out with 4, pretty much right at a break even if it comes back up and holds VWAP. If it doesn't hold VWAP, I'm going to have to get out of the position at some point in time, of course, for an expense. Oh, I'm picking up the wrong one. That's so dumb. I should have already been out of this position, but since I'm already down here, I don't usually hold this much risk in a position, kind of talking and not paying attention to what the heck I'm doing at the moment in my trading. So give me a second. I'll recover. It's all good. Well, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Probably a real trader online. Thank you. I appreciate it. No, I don't do indicators and I don't do ICT. So I apologize for, being a bad influence to everybody for not doing those two things. Do I use the dome? I do use the dome. Yes, I absolutely do use the dome. So this is what happens, right? I'm in here, I'm practicing, I trade live and stream as well too. I don't do as well streaming live as I do in my own trades. Here, I'll show you guys. So just show you my results for the last week, okay? These are the results for the last week. And what I'll do is when I'm streaming, I focus too much on chat because I like to teach, I like to train, and not train as in, oh, this is what you should do, or here's a plan for you, right? We're all adults. We all have our own perceptions. What you see in the charts is what you're going to trade. You don't need me to tell you what you're doing. I don't use Gex, no. Oh, Fallout Bear, does he? Yes. Good question. I don't know if he does or not. I don't, but we already talked about that. Let me get into this. So this is my results for the last week, okay? Not great, not stellar, okay? But here's the results, and I am watching this right now. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this because of the volatility. I'm going to reduce my risk in the position since I held it way too long. It's fine, whatever. Here's my results for the last 2 weeks, or for the last week, okay? So these 2 days, I was expecting consolidation. I didn't trade much either one of those days because it was consolidation. This day here, yeah, I took a 1350 hit because I was doing the same thing I did here, where I was talking and not paying attention to what the heck I was doing. And then I went sim and I picked up a $1,600 position on sim the next trade. I did that live. You can see the stream. It was a stream from Wednesday of this week. Then the next day, I didn't stream. I did this all on my own. 53 trades, 1633, no expense trades. Means a lot of break-even trades. I don't take a lot of expenses or my expenses usually aren't very high because when I'm trading on my own, I move my stop quickly in direction and I just don't take very many expenses. The market's either going to do what I expected it to do through momentum pretty quickly, or it's going to get me out with a break-even trade and I'm not going to take that big of a loss. That's how I trade. Where am I trading? This is a replay. So I'm not trading a live session right now. That's why on the title it says replay. I'm doing a replay. I do a lot of practice, guys. A lot of practice. Look, LeBron James, Derek Jeter, these individuals didn't get good at their sport or at their craft or their profession because they just showed up to games. They practice. That's what I do here. I practice. And I practice a lot. I practice good 20 to 30 times more time practice than I do trading. And any high performance individual, athlete, surgeon, anything along those lines, fighter pilot, that's what they do. They practice a hell of a lot more than they actually play the game. And that's all I'm doing here is practicing. Yeah, I cooked Friday, knew it was a bearish move and completely went the opposite direction. You know what? It happens. It absolutely happens. I try not to create a bias on the day for that very reason, because the market doesn't care what I think. And so if I think it's going to go up, it doesn't care. It can just come crashing down, right? So what I want to do is create my plans in a way where I can take the bearishness or the bias out of the equation, and I can turn around and say, okay, if we're in here, I want to go short. If we come back through this area and hold, so down below this area, I want to short, would come through the area, come down and come back up again. I can go long, right? Not to use the same area as short and long, but long right above it, short below it, right? Do the same thing in here. Come down, up. If it come back down, break through this area, close below, pull back. That gives me a reason to go short. Hey, thank you for the follow. One and done, Joe. Appreciate you. Trying to stop using bias and trade volatility, 100%. Well, So I have a difference between volatility and momentum. Take this with a grain of salt, okay? Here's a difference between volatility and momentum. Volatility moves so fast like news, you can't manage it. You can't act fast enough in order to be able to deal with it. Momentum is moving fast, but not fast enough that you can't manage the position. You can still enter, you can still exit. I like to trade momentum. I'm done looking at bias. It's a waste of time and need to trade like dealers. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Cayley. Appreciate you for the follow. Thank you so much. True, I said it wrong. I need to trade momentum. No, you didn't say anything wrong whatsoever. Okay. For me, language is extremely important. I don't use terms like win, loss, okay? Revenue, expense. I don't use terms of bias. I use terms of this is an area and I'm anticipating price to do this. I'm like a hunter in the markets waiting for my prey to come across, but they always come across within paths. And I need to know if I'm upwind, downwind, all this other information, right? Why? Because I'm the hunter. They're the prey. I need to know where they're going to be, not the other way around. Mr. Haley, yeah, no, not a problem. Yeah, again, right? I'm not here to correct anybody. I'm not here to tell you how to trade, right? What about volume and liquidity? Okay, well, that's an excellent question. So just because you have volume doesn't mean you have liquidity, and just because you have liquidity doesn't mean you have volume, but usually they run one and the same. All right. Liquidity, if there's not enough liquidity, that's when you can see the Asian market sometimes, you'll get gaps in the market, right? And you'll get split fills and those type of things because there's not enough liquidity to handle your order or the size of your order. All right. The volume's there. You just don't have liquidity in the market in order to be able to fill you at that particular price. Remember, price is the result of an auction. The participants make the auction, not the price. That's why if you're just trading price alone, you have a chance of getting smoked because you're not paying attention to the participants in the market. See, price action came up, right? We rejected up here. We rejected out of an area, okay? But we're not trading in a rotational market this morning. We're trading kind of in an uptrend. We're not in rotation. We're holding this area. We came down and we tested this high volume down here. Price action tried to come down below the open multiple times, and each time Delta stays green. Buyers are still staying in that market. I'm anticipating price action to come back up and test this high with momentum. Trade volume, liquidity, and institutional order flow. You know, you can. I don't see a problem with that. I don't. And the only reason is because institutional traders trade so differently than retail traders. Okay, retail traders, we have to be right. We need a stop. That's the way we manage positions. We need a stop, okay? Institutional traders don't have a stop. They don't care about the stop. They don't care because they have the size, the liquidity to get themselves out of bad trades or out of trades that they're underwater on, not because they're doing a stop. They don't have to be right. Do you know how they do that? Have you ever seen it before? Have you ever seen a trader be down $2,000-$3,000 and come back and hit a scratch trade without the market ever coming near their entry price ever again? Have you ever seen that before? Have you ever witnessed that? Do you know how they do it? No. Beautiful. I'm going to show you. Okay. It's going to take me a little time to develop this, but I'm going to show you. Okay. Exactly how they do it. And they literally use inventory. And you can do the same thing if you're trading micros. And if you notice, I'm trading micros for a reason. Why? I'm only in 4. I have a $150,000 account. I have $4,500 in risk that I can do with this, right? Well, in that $4,500 risk, I could have 50, 60 micros if I want to. I don't hold that much size. Why? Because if I do have something that goes completely sideways against me, I can use my size to get out of the position rather than turning around and hitting a risk on a stop and absolutely being wrong in the trade and stopped out. So I'm going to show you how that works. All right. You got to know what you're doing though. You can't just do it on any given trade because the way that you do it is you call a pullback. Okay. I'll show you. I will show you. I promise. I did it earlier in my stream this morning twice towards the end. You can go back and watch that right now if you wanted to. I'll go ahead and lock in 164 here. We're up 312. You know, we're seeing some resistance here again. Just popped it by one tick. If we break this low, I can always get back into another position if I need to. I'm going to give it a little bit of room by not turning around and scalping the high because we could break out of here. But we're seeing a little bit of resistance up here. So I'm just going to go ahead and be a bit more conservative on the overall position. But look at our delta. Our delta continues to rise even though we hit the open, right? So we have buyers supporting that area. That's why it's important to look at delta. We're just looking at buyers supporting this area. Just because they're supporting the area doesn't mean that they're going to continue to support the area, right? But as long as the buyers are supporting the area down here, there's a higher probability that they're going to turn around and buy through market orders the highs, which is going to push us through momentum above the highs. Don't you guys wish I followed ICT and some of the other things instead of this? Doesn't that stuff work so much better? Don't they have better idea of what's going on in the market than what I just talked about right there? Am I trading options? No. I'm trading the mini Nasdaq. I'm such a smartass. I'm sorry, guys, for being a smartass. I do apologize. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing here because the momentum's starting to fail again a little bit, and we're coming up here into an important area and level that I would be willing to look at going a short off of if price action gave me the opportunity to do such. I don't know if it will or not, but we're going to see. I'm going to go ahead and be a bit more aggressive on this because I do see a short possibly setting up from this area. Well, there she goes. Not very far, but if you're short from up in here because you're anticipating this area to hold, right? This area to hold right here, if you're anticipating this area to hold, and you're short from right down in this area, it went far enough for potential profits. Didn't hold, but it still went down. So here, 281 and a quarter. What are we looking at with 281 and a quarter? What is that? 217. 264. I don't know what this level is for. I'm just going to go ahead and delete it because I don't know what it's there for. All right. What a bad Friday, man. I'm so sorry. You blew 2 evals. That sucks. That's where you didn't enter your shorts. So Friday, right? I didn't have a very good day trading live on Friday either. I was only up $117. Damn it, I replayed the freaking day yesterday and I was up 2,600 because I'm still having a very hard time trading live on stream. There's times where I will just absolutely lock in and you guys will you'll just hear it. My voice changes a little bit. I feel different. And there's just a feel of the market. And when I'm not trading live over here, that's exactly what I do. And there's times where I can come on here and I can do exactly just that. I can just lock in and I'm just in the feel of the market and here we go. And you'll see the difference in my trading in those contexts, right? Like right now, 9:51 in the morning, 9:08. Should probably be up about 1,500 instead of 900. Based upon today's price action and what it's done. Not the best trading of my life, but it's getting the job done right now anyhow. We'll see if it continues or not. And then I still need to show you guys too how to get out of positions. In fact, you know what? Where am I anticipating a pullback from? Give me a second. I might have an idea here. I might have an idea for you. Yeah, I do. We're going to go short right now. I'm expecting this market to go against me. I want this market to go against me. Okay? Trading live is like a distraction. It can be, absolutely, because you need to consistently explain your entries. Yes, exactly. You think 569 area. Yeah, I mean, right, 569 area would be a good place to go to a short, right? Um, what I'm trying to do right now is show you guys how institutional traders can get out of the market without having a stop. They don't have to be right, okay? So I'm anticipating and I'm hoping that price action goes all the way up here and above. I'm actually hoping it goes up to this area right now. I really hope it goes about $2,000 against my position at the moment. All right, because I want to show you guys how institutional traders to get out of the market, okay? Because this is important. Because at retail traders, we have to be right and we're using a stop. And so if we want to, as we're retail traders and we want to trade as institution traders, we need an account that allows us to get into 3, 4, 500 contracts, lots at one time, usually 2 to 300. Okay, I'm not going to need that many to get out of this position by any stretch of the imagination. But if you're down quite a bit, that's exactly what you need. You need that size behind you. Institutional traders have that sort of size. It's built in to their into the market mechanics. Okay, and I'm not talking about like hedge funds that are just using friends' money and those type of things. I'm talking about institutional. I'm talking about BlackRock and their hedge funds. I'm talking about some mutual funds out there. I'm talking about individuals that are on the buy or on the sell side. A client calls them in the morning and says, "Hey, I need access to my funds, my retirement account." They want to get the best price for the customer as they possibly can. Okay, this is how they drive the market, and I'm about ready to show you guys exactly how they do it. They don't drive the market; they drive their position. That's the difference. They drive their position, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm short here not to be short. I'm not expecting the market to go down from this point. I'm expecting it to go up. Now, I might be completely wrong and it might go down, but we'll see. Citadel, BlackRock, a lot of the other funds and institutions on Wall Street, exactly. The Wall Street guys, they, right? The stop hunters, right? The ones I hit my stop and I got an expense because of market manipulation because I can't take responsibility in my own trades. I used to be there. I only speak from experience. I am definitely not talking about anybody else. That is totally me in the early aughts. I took my first trade in 98. In pork bellies of all markets. In pork bellies, my first trade in 1998. I'm a dinosaur. There's dirt that's younger than me. I'm older than dirt, my friends. That's saying something. I did work at a firm. I worked at Wachovia, and then I worked at a brick and mortar prop firm in 2008. I could lift a name for that, but you won't even be able to find them. They were all shut down with the whole Frank Dodd Act of 2014. We actually shut our doors down at 2010, so I went retail. I kind of broke even between 2010 2012. I kind of had a hard time going from time and sales to actually charts in the futures markets. And the futures markets, you can't do time and sales. It's too fast. It's too everything. Then I found the auction market theory in 2012, and that's when I turned my trading around in 2013, 2019. Went through a terrible divorce in 2019. It absolutely wrecked my whole life and just inner world. I stopped trading. I stopped doing anything. I stopped moving. I stopped doing anything whatsoever. And yeah, I'm absolutely serious. And then I I almost died in August 2013. I didn't have a near-death experience of, right, when these were blood clots. Blood clots what? Because you're inactive. You're not doing anything. You're sitting in your apartment walling in your own despair, right? It's really what it boils down to. And so I turned around and had the blood clots. They had to take them, vacuum out like 3 ounces of blood clots out of the top portions of my lungs. I was in the ICU for almost about a week and a half. And all alone because I didn't have any friends or anything else because I completely isolated myself my whole life. And sitting there in the ICU for that week and a half, I'm like, you know what? I'm not done. I am not freaking done. This is still my life and I could still do something with it. And so I did. And so I started doing videos. I started doing some other things. I really started trying to work into the self-help space, right? But not for discipline, motivation, different things. Other than those things. And then in April of this year, I'm like, you know what? I want to stream. I'm really enjoying doing this whole video thing. I really want to stream. And so I turned around and started watching streamers. And for some reason, traders came on. And of course, who's the first individuals I saw on the internet talking about trading? Can you guess? So I understand how institutions trade. I understand how institutions trade to a point. Okay, I was never on the floor. If you want to understand how they actually work directly on institutions and how they really work, DJ Vito comes in here quite often. Look him up on TikTok. DJ Vito was a floor trader in the oil pits in the early 90s. That's the individual that you want to pick his brain. I've had the privilege of actually having a couple of conversations with him. Some way, somehow, guys. Seriously, I don't even know. This is amazing, and this is just an amazing story, and just a testament of this work, not the work that I'm doing, not me, the work itself, the style of trading. I've been doing this for a month. 3 weeks into my first streams, 3 weeks into doing this, DJ Vito comes in and he starts talking to me. And this guy is absolutely, no, they didn't, but they were in Dallas. They were in Dallas on top of these big, huge high rises, right? Peddling evaluations. There you go. Those are the individuals. And so I turn around and the DJ Vito start talking to me. He's like, yeah, I was on the pits. I was like, what? The day later, he gave me my phone. He gave me his phone number. I talked to him, had this conversation with him. And I want to tell you guys something right now. I want you guys to listen up. Okay, this is important. I talked to him. DJ Vito, he was a floor trader in oil. Okay, a floor trader, guys, a market maker. Okay, a dying breed. Okay, he's a dinosaur, all right? I might be a bird that was created out of dinosaurs, right? He is the dinosaur, but he's a dying breed. But you know what? He also does some mentorships. And if anybody in here is absolutely serious about trading and really wants to develop into a profitable trader, look him up and see what he has to offer. Have a conversation with him. He's not going to pick up just anybody, and he can smell bullshit across the world. Okay? DJ Vito. All right, his first name is actually Vito, Vito. DJ Vito. Here, I'll put his name in. Look him up. Talk to him. This guy's amazing. All right? There you go. And talk to him and see what he says about institutional traders. I was in investment banking. He was on the floor. Two different things. I have an idea, but I didn't live it. He lived it. Vito, if you're listening, I want to part of the commissions of all the people I'm sending to you. I'm kidding. Can't even say shit with a straight face, man. I'm serious. My dad jokes make me laugh. At least somebody laughs at him. No, Vito, V-I-T-O. DJ V-I-T-O. DJ Vito. Victor. Oh goodness. India. What's wrong with me? DJ. So Delta, Juliet, Victor, Indio, Tango, Ocean. It has been a while. Yes, I was in the military, and it has been a while. The phonetic alphabet is leaving me. This is actually a good thing. It's been long enough. I'm 50 years old. You would think that, the whole military thing would have left me a long time ago, but no. Oh, goodness. Does he have YouTube? I don't think so. I think he's just on TikTok. So he's in retirement, right? He's in his retirement. He's 60, right? He's just chilling and he's bored. And so his daughter was like, "Why don't you do this, and help people?" And he's like, "Yeah, maybe I will." So he's just kind of getting into it a little bit. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to force his hand. I'm like, "Look, you know what? Your experience and what you can't even do it anymore. You have a dying art. You're like one of the last people on this planet that has your experience. I really want to get people to talk to him, to learn from him, and through other people's perspectives, not just through mine, right? And really, really allow that art to come out. Because, yeah, that experience. Just listen to some of his stories. They're funny as hell. So yeah, there's DJ Vito. And all I'm doing right now is letting this market come down against, go up against me. I should be in more contracts right now, but it doesn't matter. I mean, one thing, this is sim, right? So we're just here in practice. But what I'm doing though is showing you guys how institutional traders get out of their positions, not through stops. Okay? They force their hand through inventory. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. Where can I find him? TikTok. So if you go to TikTok, you can go to search and go to DJ Vito, okay? You're going to see something like this from him. Here, I'll just find TikTok real quick and get him up here, and you guys can see exactly who I'm talking about. Let's see here. Where is he? DJ Vito, where are you? Why can't I find you? Friend. Maybe he left. Maybe he got tired of me talking about him. It's always possible. No, he's right there at the very front. Right here. See, this is the guy you're looking for. And this is what his site's going to look like, right? So where are you guys at? There you are. So there's his face. Say hi, Vito. And then here's all of his little stuff that he's doing in context of, you know, he doesn't do a service, but he does tell individuals, you know, what levels and stuff like that to look for. So DJ Vito, that's who you're looking for. All right, well, price action was going against me, and now it's not anymore. Really, 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 really hope this thing is going to go up. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and fast forward it and see if it does go up. What day are we on? Yeah, July 2nd. That's what I thought. Oh man, it's going down now? Okay, well, that's not what I wanted to have happen. See, more money is made in the markets by mistakes than they are from, you know, things that you actually mean to do. I swear to God, that's true. I did not mean to be up $2,300 in this position. I meant to be down $2,300 in this position. Okay, fine. Well, then let's go short from down here and see what happens. Are you serious? Okay, can I pay somebody to make this market go against me? Jeez. This is ridiculous. Let's flatten this position and let's do a long this time. And now, of course, it's going to go up. Okay, there we go. Good, 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 good. So see, we're down 1,000 right now. Good. We need to let it go down. I'm going to let it go down here into about, oh, I don't know. What area should we go down to? What's below us? Well, right about now, it's going to probably come back up to my entry point now. There's a nice little level of support right here in this area, which is probably going to attract buyers and push price up. See? Pushing price up. Okay, now we're coming back down. Good, 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 good. Now we're coming back up. I really want to break this area below us. God, this is ridiculous. I can't even get this market to go against me enough. Okay, there we go. That's good. Now, I need to find an area where I'm thinking that price action is going to move higher. I'm expecting this low to break, so I'm going to wait and not do anything yet. Let's move forward and see if we can't get this low to break. Yep. Okay, good. Testing the low. We're right here in this area. Let's go ahead and get out of this position. I'm in 52 lots right now. And I'm waiting for the market to come up to hold this area and hit me with a break-even trade after being down, what, $1,500, $1,600 in the position? $700 from where it was here. If I put a stop down here, I'm risking $4,000. Now let's see if it turns around and gets me out. I'm thinking it's going to come back down into this area here. Oops, sorry everybody. You couldn't see any of that. So rude. So all I did was I controlled my entry through adding positions. I'm in 52 now when I was in 4, and 52 dropped my average price all the way down to here. And all I'm doing now is just waiting for price action to hold this area and come back and hit a TP just above my entry. That's how institutional traders get out of their positions. They don't use stops. That's the difference between retail traders and institutional. Retail traders have to live and die by being right in the market. Institutional traders use inventory to get themselves out of positions. And I'm anticipating this high volume here to be tested. There it is. And I'm out. And there you go. That's how it's done on the institutional side. Now let's get back to trading in this particular day right now and where we're at. And we're 12:09 in the afternoon. Let's go to 1:30. If we're going to trade in the afternoon session, let's not do it at 12 o'clock. That's a terrible time. Let's do 1:30. I know most individuals will say power hour is 2:30 to 3:30. No. No. Pay attention to 1:30 to 2:30. You'll be glad you did. You're welcome. All right. 12:42. Again, the chart's back to everybody, so everybody's on the same page. You guys can watch this. And I'm trying to get to 1:30 in the afternoon, so we can turn around and trade what they call power hour. For those of you who want an understanding of what power hour really is, the bond markets close earlier than the indices, and the bond traders used to leave the bond pit, and they would go into the indices pits, and it would create higher level of participants in the market. That was the original power hour. You trade NQ or ES. So I trade NQ. I traded the ES for ES is my market. I love the ES. I used to trade 25 lots in the ES and 18 in the Russell. Today, NASDAQ is the new Russell. It's the one that, the ES is very rotational, where the NASDAQ will move 100, 200 points. The ES will move 20, 30 points. Okay, maybe 50, but still very rotational. And so I trade the NASDAQ because of that. If I was in my cash account, trade the ES 100%. I wouldn't even touch the NASDAQ. And we're looking for another continuation play to the downside here. And so I'm looking for a short down here around 57.5. I know that's above where price is right now. There we go. Boom, short. And then we could turn around and put a stop right above this area right here. And now we're going to turn around and see what price action does. Anticipating this area to hold up here. and moving in a continuation to the downside. Price action could come up to 468. Right up here. We could break that, but I really think we're going to find resistance up there if we do. See the low volume at the top up here? See that low volume up here? Right up here, right? And see the higher volume up here? Well, if we get through the open here and we start seeing delta, that's not buyers up there, that's sellers. But anticipate it to test though because of the high volume. Unless we just break down, but we're not breaking down too much delta in here to just break down. So anticipating the high to be tested, possibly break. I could be too early on this short. It's a possibility. Holding VPOC of the current bar, right? And so where we look probably going to go to test if we do move down, we're probably just going to come down here into this high volume down here, right here into this area and test that. But we just broke the high. Where did you start your what did you start your live account at? So when I first started trading, my first account was $15,000 and I traded the main index with $15,000. And then when I started trading in 2010, my own account, I usually had $5,000 in the account for every lot I was trading. And so 10 lot, 50,000. But basically $5,000 a contract. I don't like how the buyers are stepping in at the low. We break down into the low and then the buyers immediately step in, especially with Delta down here and we're buying into the pressure like that. There's a lot of limit orders going on trying to buy this market up right now. And see how we have the Delta now positive. We're going to blow through the high of this bar. Watch. I'm going into a break even. I just don't like this. I don't like what just happened there. Even with the positive momentum and price action wasn't able to go up, there's something going on in this particular bar. Something good for me right now, but I don't really care. I don't want to participate in something that is happening that's out of use, right? And I'm just going to go ahead and just scalp out every single tick that this thing was possibly going to give me. I'm up, 200, locking in 138. And I'm just going to keep on doing this. There we go. Looks good to me. Let it keep on going down. I don't really care. Down here at VWAP right now. What is this? The third? Is it the third band of VWAP? Is that what we're looking at? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're overextended anyhow in this move. I really wish we had an area here that I'd be interested going long in. But I just don't. So I'm just going to have to continue scalping to the downside. I don't really have much of a choice in the matter. So we just don't have any places to buy yet. I mean, if we get down into the 29,279, 29,260s, those are places I'd be willing to buy. But give me just 1 second. I gotta go do something real quick. I'll be back in like 3 minutes. Just give me a second. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Meals. I had meals delivered. So I had to go get those in the refrigerator and the freezer before they're outside and get all kinds of messed up. All right, let's get back into this. Well, thank you, Fallout Bear. Appreciate it. Sorry about that. Thank you guys for staying. Appreciate you sticking around, not having anything fun to do. I should probably left price for you, but I even shut that off for you. Jeez, I'm no fun. It's like I went home and took my toys or something. It's ridiculous. I should be ashamed of myself. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's see. What are we doing here? Price action barely didn't even break the highs up there. Could have stuck in this short, but kind of didn't like what was going on at the open of this bar. That much delta coming in. What was it? This bar right here? Or was it this bar? I thought it was this bar. It looked like it was a lot more delta than what it actually was. I thought it was like up to here in this area and couldn't break the high. I don't know. That was weird. Whatever. Whatevs. And then we're just doing the continuation to the downside. That's all that's going on here. All right. Does anybody have a day that they want me to trade? Am I trading Asia tonight? I don't trade the Asia session. I don't trade the Asia session. I trade the London session, but I don't trade the Asian session because the Asian session is not as much liquidity and I can get split fills. And I don't like split fills. It's not as thick of a market as I would like. So somebody said that they were down on Friday. Let's trade Friday. Let's do that. What do you guys think? You want to trade Friday? I do trade London Live, yeah. Yeah. I sure do. I like London session. I used to trade the London session. I used to trade oil at like 5 a.m. I used to trade like the Aussie dollar, the euro, the British pound, and futures, not the currency pairs, the futures. I used to do all of that stuff at like from 2 to 5 a.m. Trade ES on Friday. You want me to trade the ES? Oh my God. I haven't traded the ES since December of 2019. You guys want to see me trade the ES? Oh, I'm probably going to make a fool of myself. Bro, I know my exact model. The only problem is being patient now. I don't know. Sometimes I force a trade. Yeah, we all do it. Practice, 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 practice. Continually practice. Yes, ES last Friday. You in Texas? No, I'm not in Texas, actually. Believe it or not, you're gonna totally laugh at me. I shouldn't even tell you guys where I'm at right now because y'all are gonna laugh. I'm in West Virginia. I lived in 27 states in front of the West Coast. When the divorce happened, I was living in Ohio, and Ohio, then the northern Florida, right? The only two places that weird things always happen is either Florida or Ohio. And so I was in Ohio, and I really wanted to get away. I wanted to be around mountains, so I came to West Virginia. And I will guarantee you that anybody knows the United States and those type of things, right? Nothing wrong with West Virginia. I don't mind this place at all. But every rumor you've heard about the state, I can confirm. 100% true. 100% true. Confirmed. No, West Virginia is pretty cool. Just not a lot of things to do here. It's all outdoor stuff because there's literally nothing in West Virginia. I'm in Morgantown, actually outside of Pittsburgh. So there's more things to do here than most places, but there's still nothing to do. But I came here for a reason. I wanted to really focus on my craft. I've written 27 books since I'm working on my 28th since August 2023. So, I started writing my first couple books in 2020, but that doesn't really count. So yeah, that's what I was doing. And you guys really want me to trade the ES, huh? Okay, you know what? I'm going to trade the ES. Let's do this. I'm going to stop talking about it and we're just going to do it. This will be fun, they said. Kind of hesitant, kind of scared, to be honest with you. I'm a little nervous trading the ES. I haven't traded this market since December of 2019. I absolutely know what an A+ setup is, but I just can't control myself sometimes. Damn, what book have you written? All sorts of books. And you can go onto Amazon and see 2 of them. Don't get them. Do not get them. They're terrible. What is it called? Mindset Matters and the Power of Practicing Authenticity. Mindset is everything, and Power of Practicing Authenticity. So you can look up Tony Begin on Amazon and you'll find those books. Then I also have a book on, this one's actually pretty good. I have a book for free on Gumroad. You can look up Tony Begin on Gumroad, and it's Why I Can't. And it's a book about understanding like what you're going through, Jerry. Being able to understand and acknowledge the part of us that runs our habitual patterns, that controls the vast majority of everything that we do. I do teach for free. Yeah, Fall Out Bear. I don't have any products. I do have Discord, but it's free as well. I don't have any products. I don't have anything that I sell. I don't have any of that. No. I'm designing a course. I am doing that just to kind of help individuals out and those type of things, but no, I don't. I do it all for free. Okay. Now we want Friday. So we want the 24th. Let me reset. Now that I have everything on the ES, and let me grab my symbol for the ES as well on the playback. And this is why I have Deep Charts. It has one of the best playback functions out here. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. There's so much garbage that's out there that's like, you know what? Yeah, everybody and their brother's paying for garbage. I paid $120,000 for trading garbage when I was younger, about $120,000, over $120,000 between trading methodologies and trading psychology, because of course, as well as individuals, I thought that there was something wrong with me, so I need to fix myself. And yeah, no. There's nothing wrong with any of us. We just need to learn how to, we need to learn first how to be kind to ourselves. That's the first thing. Be kind. Have the inner world be kind to ourselves. And through that kindness, we can learn to love ourselves. And we can love ourselves, we can learn to love our neighbors. And now we're living by the golden rule. It's kind of the philosophy. And there's a huge difference between love and lust. Let's see here. The first thing that I'm noticing, well, let's first let's go through my PMA. Let's just go through my PMA. I haven't done this market in forever, so let's just go through our PMA. First thing we have to notice is we have a gap, right? And most individuals will say, okay, gap fill, right? Blah, 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 blah. Well, if you're looking for a gap fill, anticipate price action to come into VPOC, volume point and control of the day prior to. So if this market's going to go up, we're going to come up here and we're going to touch into VPOC. Okay. So there's a target for us at some point in time. It's not going to necessarily be today, but there's a target for us. And we're trading in rotation. We are down into, let's see, let's get all of our days put into here because this is kind of a mess. So any days that's within the overall profile, we're just going to add directly into this profile. And we're just going to keep on doing it because one bad thing about this program is we have to do each one individually. So give me a second. Just give me a second. I think we do because if I try this, yeah, I tried it before. It doesn't work. Maybe if yeah, there's no way of selecting each one. There might be, but I don't know what the shortcut key is to do it. So it'll take me less time just building my profile than it will doing all of it at the same time. I'm trying to get it all done at the same time. And we always want to leave two profiles out. The first profile is a dynamic and the second one is a static. What's the difference? Static doesn't move, so we have static levels that we're able to look at. And then we have dynamic, which is a developing profile, which is going to move throughout the day. One of the best quotes I know from Naruto anime: time doesn't heal anything. It just teaches us how to live with pain. So here's the thing, right? When it comes to pain, pain never leaves us. All right. It's always there. You have to remember one thing. What's stored in the subconscious mind is always stored. Okay. But the body doesn't just store memories and emotions in the brain. It stores them throughout the body. That's why you can have emotional pain and you can feel it someplace in your body. Like mine's in my solar plexus and it moves up into my heart area and that moves over into my left lung. Okay. So there's bodily sensations associated with emotions and thoughts. Okay. And we can never relieve from that pain because it can always come back. Think about an individual that is in an addict, okay, and they have 30 years of sobriety and then they have a relapse, okay. You can come out, hang with me more, Leighton. Absolutely, please, definitely. I use Trade of 8 Dome and place orders right before the big ones. Absolutely, yeah. Love order flow, yeah. All of that stuff, Leighton, most definitely, right? The high volume, all of that stuff. A lot of times I'll trade out of low volume, though, anticipating high volume to attract price. So moving into direction of the high volume. This is the first time I've looked at the ES. But if you look at addicts, okay, an addict can have sobriety for 30 years and they can have a relapse. How can that be? If you're practicing 30 years of habits, you would think those 30 years of habits would override any of the old habits, but old habits never go away. They're just stored, all right? Well, the pain is the same thing. The pain is stored as well. That's aligned to that, okay? And so in the context of the pain, time doesn't heal pain, all right? A new focus does. And when you start living an intentional life, you start to align your actions to it. You start to align and you start to fulfill intention within reality, because reality is nothing more than a mirror reflecting back of the person that's taken the action. And if our habits are sitting at the apex of choice, okay, then it's manipulating the body to act. And then we're going to have those same emotions, those same thoughts, and those same things constantly trigger inside of ourselves. And we're going to be reliving the same pain over and over again because it's habitual for us. But if we have intention, intention comes online. Conscious participation is the one that controls intention. Habits don't. Habits and intention don't talk to one another. There's no communication between the two. That's why you can't think intentionally, hope and dream, and then have your life reflect that, because it takes action to do it. But habits always trigger before conscious participation comes online. So habits are constantly manipulating the body to act. It takes intention coming online through urgency, the action in the present moment, to turn around and allow intention to manipulate the body. And when intention manipulates the body, your whole thing starts to change, including the pain that you've lived with, because you're operating from a new set of choices rather than pre-programmed habitual behavior predictions. I need to surround myself with people who are better than me at this, so I learn. Leighton, I really appreciate that. And I wouldn't say that, let's see if I'm better than you, in terms of that. But I don't even think it's in terms of better or worse. It's like minds, right? It's always better to walk a journey with community. Better or not, community. Because then all members of the community grow, because you're like-minded, like intention. Ram, good evening. Good to see you. All right, let me get off my soapbox and really create a plan here. So that's kind of what we're looking here. We're in unfair lows, looking for, God bless it. This is why it's so difficult to trade live sometimes too, because you're trying to explain things and then you have to move charts around and your whole visual, everything starts to change. Yeah, the struggle's real, but I'm going to learn how to do it though. So we have this low volume node in here, which can act as a level of support, right? Now let's go ahead and go to the 30-minute chart. I'm going to blow you guys' minds for a second, all right? Maybe some of you, maybe not, but we'll see. Price action is trading in an area of rotation in this market, okay? And what happened is we continue to break out of rotations into upper ranges, okay? And as we're doing that, we break out to the bottom side into lower ranges, all right? Here's the thing. Most individuals will draw these volume profiles off of spikes, you know, highs, lows, right? Pivots, those type of things, okay? I draw them off of the market shift bar. And what's a market shift bar? A market shift bar is a bar that broke and closed below or above prior value. Why is this bar important? We call them breakouts. And breakouts can do one of three things. Most individuals will teach, well, a breakout, it's our trend direction. We got to go in the direction of the breakout, right? But most breakouts will turn around and create, one, consolidation, two, move back into prior value. See, this broke out here and moved back into prior value, okay? Or three, trends. But the markets only trend about 20 to 30% of the time. So that means 70 to 80% of the time, it's going to move into consolidation. Hello, consolidation. As soon as we broke through this area, which bar closed below? This bar right here. You can use either one of these two. It doesn't matter. And what happens as soon as we closed below it? Consolidation. Try to break out again, and then more consolidation and created value. Okay? So we want to put our profile, our custom profiles, on these breakout bars. That's where we want to put them. Not pivots, not rejection, the market shift bar. And one of three things is going to happen. We're either going to create a new balanced area, or we're going to break out and move into a prior balance area. All right? So that's how we create those areas. And now we're looking for price action to come down into value area low around 740.30 and a quarter. All right. Now, we don't have a lot of low volume to really work off of because we're just creating a new area of value. But we do have this low volume node, which is pretty interesting up here in the context of these highs. So that's an area of interest. This, I'm not really going to call it an area of interest up here. This is definitely an area of interest, but I'll show you what I'm going to do with the high volume area of interest here in a little bit. We got to let price action trade around though, in order to be able to do that. And what else do we have? 395 on the downside is an area of importance. And so we're going to put a line on this chart at, what price did I say? 395. This little line right here is an area of importance. And we have another one at 334, which is way below us. 334. Okay, which is right there. And then we have an area also above us at 472 that I need to index. Sorry guys, I forgot. You guys can't see this. 472 is actually right up where we already rejected. Let me show you what I'm putting in here. So I'm just putting these lines, right? Here's a low volume node, but I have the 742 or 472 area, which is important. And I put this line in here of importance of 394, and I put this line in here at 334 as well. So that's all I did there. Now let's turn around and look at a different daily perspective. Daily, there's that. And we're trading in a range right now in the context of the hourly and the 240 minute as well. So that's where we're at in the context of everything. So what we want to do is we want to take a look at this market and we say, okay, you know what? I do have a low volume shelf down here, right here. Let's go ahead and index that. Let's index this low volume shelf down here. And this is what we're going to say. Price action is currently trading here. So if price action comes up, comes above this area, comes in and holds this high volume. See, I told you I would tell you about the high volume later, right? Holds that high volume on a pullback and moves back up to the upside. I'm looking for a potential long from that area. All right? So long. Spoke to Vito. What did Vito have to say? Tell that Tony guy to shut the hell up and leave him alone. Price action comes down. Was it a good conversation? That was quick, by the way. I like it. We can see price action come up here, come down, come up. Price action come into here, come down, come up. We can buy out of this area, these two areas in here. Oops, wrong one. He used to work for the market maker. Laugh a lot. Yep, exactly. Yep, floor trader. So he knows about DEX, DEX, yeah, where market makers position themselves to defend certain levels. Exactly. Yes, he does. Yep, yep, yep. He uses Gex too. I didn't realize that. He didn't tell me that. I'm gonna have to yell at him now. Say, Vito, you're holding the information back. What's going on, man? It's not very neighborly. Friend. So I can't draw, as you guys can tell. Okay. My drawings look like something that came out of South Park. All right. But you get the gist. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to trade the ES. Whoever had this great idea, I swear to God. So that is the pre-market analysis. He's going to call back. Good. Yeah, I assume because the way he marks his charts are areas where institutionals are. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. He's much more on the institutional side than I am. I'm much more on the volume, which some of it is institutional, and then using some of the institutional levels as well. Like these lines in here, institutional levels. Right? That's the plan. That is the plan for how I want to trade this particular day on the ES. And I'm anticipating the market around the open to come down into value area low area around value area low around 740, 74.30 and a half. That's fire. I've been using QQQ for my NQ levels. Yeah, absolutely. Plans to invite any of your current or previous trader friends for guest talks? Probably not. Only because I didn't talk to anybody for a long time. I still haven't. I haven't talked to anybody about old trader friends and stuff like that since 2019. So I don't know. We'll see. I might. Maybe I'll do a podcast at some point in time. I don't know. This is so you can't ask me questions about like that because I don't have any clue. This is my 4th week into this, okay? And I can't tell you how much support I've had in the last 4 weeks, right? I mean, 4 weeks ago I was sitting with 48 followers on TikTok, okay? And you guys are kind of coming out of the woodworks. I had 140 subs on YouTube, and now I'm over 300, right? You guys are coming out of the woodworks. I should do the podcast. Bring Vito on. Oh my God, Vito and I would be terrible together. Mafia New York and me. and straight up Italian too. And his family's over in Italy doing farming stuff in Italy. And I'm like, Vito, absolutely not. You can't do that, man. You're New York. You know, you can't get your shoes dirty in the soil over there. You know, your Armani isn't going to work very well in the fields. You know, it's good times. On your show, yeah. Bring Vito on. Yeah, absolutely. And I do have some trader friends and a few things. I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know. Like I said, this is a project that I just started. The support is kind of overwhelming. I feel like I am underperforming for the amount of support that I have, meaning I don't feel like I have the infrastructure already in place with what it is that I'm doing. I feel like I need to have more educational videos. I feel like I need to have more things available for individuals out there. I don't feel like I'm bringing the value that I could based upon the support that I'm getting, if that makes any sense. So, I don't know. Podcast, we'll put that on the back burner for right now, but yeah, it's possible. I could get Pete Davies on. Um, from Jigsaw Traders. Um, I could get Terry Lieberman, if he's still alive, would be fun, from Window Trader Blue. He's probably the best trader that I know next to Vito. Vito and him probably two different styles of trading. Two different styles of trading. Um, as for a scalper, I don't know anybody that's better than Terry Lieberman. I think he is absolutely 100% hands down. Done. He's not around anymore. I don't think Terry's around anymore either. I'm telling you guys, we're dinosaurs in a dying breed, and unfortunately, we're being replaced by ICT guys. It's sad, so sad. I'm very valuable. Keep doing what you're doing. Well, thank you, Ram. I appreciate you. Vito is a scalper. Um, but Penetrator, that's who's out there. Seriously. They're the ones that are out there in most of the For You pages for trading. Think about it. Exactly. I know. I've had two individuals come in here to ask me if I trade ICT, and like I'm an idiot because I'm not trading ICT, and I'm like, you know what? You can just go away. Just go. That's all they're doing. Exactly. Exactly. I'm not trying to sell a course here. I can't teach anybody to trade, but you know what I can do? I can demonstrate trading at the live edge, and I can show what it takes to develop as a trader. Okay? Those are different things. Buying Lambos with course money, exactly. Those are different things. Okay? Because trading, you need to develop into a trader. And nobody's teaching individuals how to develop into traders. Vito was developed into a trader. I was developed into a trader. And nobody's developing individuals and traders. Everybody just wants to try to turn the markets into an ATM machine, and it doesn't work that way. You got to develop. All right, is everybody ready for me to focus on trading the ES, which I haven't done since 2019? I don't even know how this market moves anymore. I have no idea how this market moves anymore. I have not looked at the ES since 2019. So this is going to be this could absolutely be a 100% shit show real quick. I don't know how this is going to go, to be honest with you. I'm kind of nervous. I don't usually get nervous in trading, but I'm kind of nervous right now because this was my market, and I'm afraid that not seeing it for a long time, I'm going to like fall on my face, and it's going to be bad, and I'm going to feel terrible because this was absolutely my market. Yeah. That's why I want to be a damn trader level, and I won't be teaching either. No, and you know, that's the whole thing, right? It's funny. Why am I teaching? Hmm. I didn't teach in my 30s and 40s when I was doing this live for that same reason. Now, I don't know. As you get older and you get more gray hair, something happens, right? You start thinking about a legacy. You start really thinking about what you're doing, right? ES is a lot more rotational, right? It doesn't have the knee-jerk reactions that the NASDAQ has. But the NASDAQ, that's why scalping works in the NASDAQ, because of the knee-jerk reactions. You don't necessarily get those knee-jerk reactions all the time in the ES. So this is going to be fun. All right. But you start thinking about your legacy, and you start thinking about what you give back to the world, not what you're going to get out of it, but what you're going to get back from it. And it's just that's a maturing process, and there is nothing wrong with wanting something for yourself by any stretch of the imagination. I want things for myself today, right? But there comes to a point where that takes more of a back seat as you get older, and that's just something you have to just understand with age. I could tell you this right now, right? Unless any of you are 50 years older or older, okay, I can say this. At one point in time, I've been your age, but you've never been mine. Okay? To be honest, ICT helped me a lot. And Jerry, yeah, absolutely. ICT, honestly, in the markets isn't necessarily something bad, right? It's the way that it's presented. It's the way that they talk about it. It's a mathematical magical numbers that, the institutional traders use, and that's just an absolute lie. And it's the marketing that I have an issue with more than anything else. And it's not that everything works in context, but if you don't understand the context of the market, you don't understand what works in a particular context. This is why when you look at people doing back tests for like 15 years, and the only back test that actually works is mean reversion and trending, and all these other things just don't work. And here's 15 of them, and we did 15 years of, well, guess what? You're doing it all in the same. You're doing it all in the same um in the same market condition. You're not adjusting to the condition. So you're not changing from mean reversion to trend and trending market conditions. You're trying to use them all at the same time. Okay, or you're using one methodology for every single market condition, and you can't do that. That's where we come in with auction market theory. It's a different analysis. You're not analyzing the market, you're analyzing the market's condition, and then you're taking entries around areas that make sense within the condition that it's in, understanding that the market condition can shift at any given time. But you don't trade the shift until it happens. I think ICT is just a level out and everyone chooses how they trade. Exactly. Yeah, because you can only trade your perception. This is why you can't teach a trader a methodology and say, here, trade this, right? Because we're all different. Like all that magic ball number shit. Well, yeah, true, but people believe in it, though. And then it's about protecting people from themselves, which is not easy to do either. Let's get into this. I'm kind of curious of what I do in the ES. I really am. God, I haven't looked at this market for so long. Oh, look at this, though. Look at the buyers up here and the high volume. Got the high volume coming in here, anticipating this 43.5 to test. This is the open. This is the open of the ES. You gotta be shitting me. Oh, this is so calm. Oh my god, this is like Zen trading comparatively to the NQ. What the hell is going on right now? What have I been doing? Not the right things, I'll tell you that much. Holy shit. This is kind of fun. Excuse my language, guys, but my god, this is not the 2019-2020 ES that I remember. Oh yeah, she is the high volume in here, testing the lows right here. The high volume, she's probably going to break the lows. Testing back into here. Absolute buyers stepping into the market. Could be long right here, right off of the open. Oh my god. Okay, well, this is kind of fun. Market is about to open. Yeah, for the Asian session, especially at 6 o'clock. It's 2. For me, it's not liquid enough. I get split fills and all sorts of stuff. Here's the long. I mean, there was the rotation right here for the long position, right at the open. Oh my god, this is okay. Well, here I was possible fearful of this market for absolutely no reason whatsoever. This is, oh my God, look at this. Look at. I don't know how this is going to behave here. Am I in an area? Wait a second. Where's my area above me? Let me look. All the way up there. Do I want to try to take an IB rotational market? Not after the strength of this ES. No, it's going to go ahead and continue up. But I'm looking for a short right here at this line in this area. Let me show you guys. Right here in this area, I'm looking for a short position setup. Right here. Okay? Right here in this area. I'm not going to take it because I'm not in an area, but if I'm scalping, I'd want to be short at 51.75, and I called that when this was coming up. Before we even came down, when I was talking about the area, that's the area right there, 41.75. And I don't want to do it because I'm not in an area. I'm anticipating price action to continue higher. But for a scalp, not a bad little position coming down to the downside there. Interesting. Okay. Well, maybe I should just stop being nervous about this market and just freaking trade her. That's what I'm talking about. Where are we at right now? 351. 351. 351. I got to get my bearings on the numbers and where we're at and the levels and those type of things too. 351 is right here. Did we go through this just now? Oh, I think we did. Oh my God, I definitely want to be short here. Are you kidding me? I want to be short right above the open of this bar. 351. So let's do 450.75 just to ensure we get filled. There we go. Okay. So we can put a stop up here. That's fine. 650. I'm in 4 lots right now of the ES. I'm not in the main index. I'm not in like SPOO, right? The SP 500, but I have 4 minis on right now. Where are we at? $50, $100, $200 a point. Sweet. I only have a 2-point risk. I haven't been able to trade the ES with a 2-point risk in I don't know how long. Well, since I looked at it last. Okay, where's my first target at? If we're going to scalp this out, let's go ahead and put our targets out. Just in case this decides to go ahead and bear up and not hold this area, let's go ahead and put a target here for 1. We want to target at 430.75. So 431 and a quarter is where we want to put another one at, right down here. Okay, doesn't matter. We got stopped out. Okay, beautiful. So we're starting the day down 650. All right, let's get our 4 back and let's pay attention. I wasn't in an area. I wasn't in an area at all. That was a scalp in initial balance, anticipating a continuation to the rotation itself. Because we don't have any closes really near the highs in this market. But you know what? Let me scalp this. Let me see if I can scalp this market. Give me a second. I'm going to... Okay. Look at the delta. See this delta? Kind of worries me. You got all this delta. Now we're breaking down. Beautiful. Just broke the high. That's normal ES stuff going on. I'd like to be short up here again. I don't know if it's going to give it to me, but I'd like to be short up here in this area. Again, not in an area. This is just scalping. Okay? Just scalping. I'm just working on scalping the ES right now. Not trying to day trade, not in areas. I'm between areas right now. Vita would say don't fiddle in the middle. And if you're in the middle, right, you're in an area. Okay? You would say not fiddle with the market in the middle itself, but I'm going to fiddle in the middle. Because I'm not as smart as him. And fiddling in the middle means I'm going to scalp this. There's the up. Do we get through the open? Delta's green. Come up to my area. I dare you. do that, please. Go on. You can do it. Get through VWAP, get into my area. No, you want to. See, talking to her sweet like every once in a while works. NQ just gapped up. Yeah. Yeah, anticipating the EQ to gap up. Look at Vito's information too on today. You'll see. See that low volume up here? See that low volume over here, and we're getting higher volume in here. Anticipate that high to break. We got buyers in the market. I don't want to be short right now. We got buyers in the market. Let's go ahead and scalp ourselves out of this position. Don't want to take a small risk there. Okay. Remember, I'm trading 4 right now, but that bar right there is telling me that buyers are in this market. So let's go ahead and bring in a long. We're looking for price action to continue here to the upside on a scalp. Yeah, they pushing up? Yeah. You love trading with minis? Yeah, exactly, right? No, I'm with you. I love minis much more than micros. And the ES, I always traded the minis. I never traded the micros. But you got to remember, though, I was trading back in the SPOO time frame. Okay, so entry down here, not up here, because this is the area of the high volume and the rotation, and you're anticipating price back to come back into the rotation itself. So let's see if we can get into a long here and see if it responds from this area. I'm just practicing here, guys. I'm not in areas, I'm not in anything else. I'm just trying to get a feel for the ES again because it's been so long since I traded it. This is absolutely going to be coming back down again the way that this bar closed. I was anticipating this to happen on the high, and it didn't. But the way this bar closed, anticipate price action to continue down again. Test it again, right? So you'd be scalping this to the downside. It came back and tested again. Scalp it back to the downside again, all right? Move your stop to a break even. You're out with the second time in a break even trade. I'm not in areas. I'm not in anything else. I mean, if you look, right, here's my areas. And if you look at this chart, my areas are all around us. Okay. I can absolutely trade out of these areas. Not a problem. I used to be able to scalp the ES through this whole area in here. And so I'm just trying to get a feel of this market again in order to see if I can't do that again. And if I'm doing the ES, I could do 1 lots and scale myself into the position because this would be an entry, a reason to enter for another contract down here, right here in this area. I'm in 5 right now, but I'd only be in 2. So you cut the risk in half. Oh, that's not helpful. What the hell is going on with this? Interesting. Interesting. Let's go ahead and, oops, wrong one. Let's go ahead and, yeah, it's fine. We can leave that on there, whatever. I don't know if I like the dot. It gets in my way, but we'll see. So you get into here, it breaks down. Market's very rotational. So you're in here again as it's testing this high volume right down here. Okay. So here's entry, here's an entry, and you're scaling yourself into the position, anticipating price action continue to move into the higher levels because you're holding this whole area and structure. What would your last entry be? Last entry would be right around here in this area or this area right up here. And you're scaling into the position the whole time. Yeah, yeah. If there's a gap, you're looking for a continuation. I don't have my NASDAQ charts up, so I can't tell you guys, but key areas. Here, let me give you some key areas in the NASDAQ real quick. This might be helpful for you. We'll see. Um, I'm trying to watch this too because I need to watch this. I need to watch this ES. Where are we? Where's the key levels at? Um, 28,500 and 28,282.50. Where's current price at? Do you guys know? Price action closing in the range here, inside bars. Look for continuation to the downside right now. Look for rejection over here off of the lows. Your voice is calming. I keep falling asleep. Sorry, Hab. What's going on? How's it going? Is that better? Oh, good times. Good times. Well, I also did voiceovers for like affirmations and stuff like that for meditations. And so that's kind of the voice that I used for the meditations, is more something along these lines and discussing things in this context. So yeah, it's kind of a melodramatic, you're going to make me fall asleep voice. It's good though, trading needs to be relaxed, absolutely. Realized and relaxed, both. You were correct on either occasion. Okay. I need to trade this. I just need to trade, and it doesn't matter what the results are right now. I just need to trade this market. I need to get a feel for it. I need to feel how it's responding to the bid and the ask. See, like right there with the bid, and we came up, we hit 2 ticks higher. This market's strong, we're going to hit the open, but we can't even get across the open right now. There's resistance right there. Resistance at 76.5. If 76.5 holds, anticipate the low to be broken. We're going to go back and test the 76.5 right now, 76.75. We didn't break the low. We immediately came up, anticipate the high to break. Back through the open again. We can't get back through the high, and we came down and we broke the low. We're going to break low again. And you start looking at volume. See the low volume here at the highs, right? You had much more buying pressure here than here. This market's going to come back down. We're rejecting the highs here. You could be short from 76.5, easy, or 75, depending on which one. And you're just scalping out a tick or two. The market was weak there. On an inside bar, though, which is already a sign of weakness. And now you turn around and you break the lows here, right? And you look at the sellers, 158 comparatively to 125, and you only broke the low by 2 ticks. Who's in control of the market? Definitely not the sellers. The buyers are. Now we just need to see the buyers break the high. There we go. Now anticipate momentum to come back into the market on the upside here. No momentum. Now I got one playing in my head for Metallica. There's the momentum. I was looking for that. Okay, here's your low volume here at these highs as well. So rejection up here. Anticipate price action to get through the open. Anybody else read order flow like this? We held the open. What happens at the highs? Don't even get back up to the highs again. We have resistance here at 48.5. 48.5, what do? We come right back and test it again. Sellers start getting aggressive into the market. What are we probably going to do? Get through the open of this bar. Came down and test the open, right? 1 tick above it. Tested the open and broke it. And immediately buyers stepped in, just like we were stepping in before, right? But look at the sellers getting more aggressive down here at the low. We're going to break the low. And the fact that we didn't break the low there, now we should be anticipating price action to move swiftly to the upside. Okay, can I read the ES? Let's see, do we get the momentum to the upside? If we get to the momentum up to the upside, I have a pretty good read on this market. If we don't, then I need to question that read a little bit. There it is. There's the momentum. Thank you. Beautiful. I love it. I think I got this. I think I got a read on the market. What do you guys think? Continuation. Oh, yeah, that's not going to help with just one, is it? Let's go ahead and put a stop in here. Right below here, 375. What are we up right now? 900. Let's go ahead and lock in a little bit more. We're going to put our stop right below the high volume in here, anticipating these highs to break. It's coming off of that high. See that? I wanted to move it up a couple more ticks, but I was talking. Okay, perfect. Let's see if we can get another rotation like that. Don't want to short this. Do not want to short this right now. Buyers are still in control at the moment. We do have the rejection up here, but I need to see how this bar closes before. I need to see how the bar closes before I can do anything. Let's scale into positions too. Let's scale in and scale out. Let's not do this, all in, all out thing. Let's scale into our positions. Anticipate price action to move higher. Now see, I don't like these dots. I don't like how they're coming in. They're way too big and they're just way too everything, and I can't read anything when they come in here. I don't like that at all. We're taking these off. No thank you, no thank you, no thank you. I don't need the big trades. This market's moving so slow, it's so easy to read. I don't even need to worry about it. All right. So what happened up here? See the lighter volume at the high, but you see how we came down and we came through and we tried to test this high volume over here, right? Rejected off of it. Okay. Get back through the open. All right. Buyers are in control. Rejected this high. The open is important. Right down here. Extremely important. If buyers are strong right now, we're going to come back up. We're going to test this high. See? Tested the high. If the market's weak, we're going to get through the open on this bar before we break out the highs. And if we get through the open of this bar after breaking out the highs, it's not weakness, it's strength. Because we're just coming down and testing the area where we broke out of before. And price action continues higher. Oh, goodness gracious. Am I going to be able to, do I switch markets and go back to the ES? This is like lulling me to sleep. This is so nice. Look at the high volume up here. We're going to come back and test that. We're not leaving that high volume. Where's the last time we came up here? Where's the last time that we came up here? Right up here? Let's see. Where's the high volume at up here? Over here. That's just a down movement. It's really right here in the consolidation. So this area here is going to be an area of support for us right now in this market. We're going to extend this over. That's an area of support. Mark my words. We got support there. Now, just because we got support there doesn't mean it's going to stay strong for buyers, right? This is an inflection point. This area right here that I just printed is an important area in this market right now. And right now it's important to the downside. Really important to the downside. Wow. One move, one bar down into initial balance low. That's kind of nice. I like it. The fact it can do that too. Yeah. And why do I like that? Because it shows that this market has some momentum to it as well, that she can move when she's ready to move. It's a good sign. And where did she go to? Show you. Right down here into this area of support. If I went on top of it, I would have already had this area in, and I'd be a buyer down here on high volume. Where's a high volume buyer step in? Right here. 45.5. That's where the high volume buyer stepped into the market in that particular sequence. And we came up quite a bit. I wasn't even watching where we're coming up because I was indexing areas. Because I don't have all my areas indexed right now because I haven't traded this market in so long. Oh, the way this is closing below. Oh my God. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Now it's time to trade. Okay. Do we get a close below? That's what we're waiting for right now, is a close below. And then a pullback. If we get a close below, I'm looking for a pullback into this area right here, and I want to short. And I'm going to go ahead and short 4 at this point in time. I don't even care. Because if it pulls back up into that area, this is going to go back down and test into these lows. We're going to move down into, at the very least, 431.5. And this is a good scalping opportunity right here. I should have just shorted the open of this bar is what I should have done. Looking for price action to immediately come down into the 431.5 area. 437, we still have room. Is it going to give it to me? No. We just rotated right above the high volume here. We brought the high volume node right back down here again, which is going to act as a little bit of support. We might come back up here and test this area, test the low of this bar, test into this high volume, anticipate to come back down and test this value area high right here. This VPOC. Value area high VPOC is what I meant. And then what do we do in the next bar? Immediately trade through it again. We didn't make a lower low, which is interesting. We didn't make a lower low. So now we might be rotational back into test initial balance. And that's where I can get my possible fill in the 4 to come right back and test this low again. Let's see if it happens. Anybody learning anything? Is the commentary helpful, or you guys just preferred me just shut the hell up and just have me watch me trade instead of following through on my thought process? I'm waiting for a pullback. I really want to shorten here because I'm really expecting the market to come down. And now that I have a kind of a feel for the market, I'm like, man, this is really feeling pretty bearish at the moment. And I really want to be in the market. Test up into the high volume, come back into the right below the open again, anticipating momentum to come into the market here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Can we get a little bit of movement down here so I could move my stop to at least a break even? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Break even. Free trade. And price action stop me out. That's okay. That's okay. So I can't be that tight with her, but that's all right. Pretty close, but it can't be that tight. But rotation back into here. Beautiful. Come on a little bit higher. You can do it. Come on. A little bit higher. We want to test into here. Please? Nope, you don't want to? Beautiful. That's fine. Got in a little bit late there. I wanted to be in here at this 36.75. I got in 3 ticks low. That's okay. Am I only in 1? I'm only in 1. Oh my God, that's even better. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 1 is perfect because now what I can do, if I'm only in 1, I can turn around and set myself up to scale into the position. If this is going to consolidate around here. If not, we're going to trade through here pretty rapidly and we're going to get into 430.75 pretty quickly. Any questions? Any comments? Any concerns? $432.5. 431. I'm still looking at 431. But if we get down to 431, I really think we're going to test in here into the protection level, into like the 27.25. The way that the daily, I really think we're actually going to come, to be honest with you guys, I think we're going to come down into the 394 area. 394.75, 396, 397, somewhere right around in there. 394 to 397 is where I think we're going to end up going. Yeah. I really do. I think I'm going to have to hold on to this position. I don't think I want to lose this entry. What I want to see is consolidation. And in that context of the consolidation, let me add it to the position. See what I just did there? Did you guys see that? Why do you think I did that? Anybody know? $431. Where am I at here? 430.5. No, I need to be at 431.25. right there. There's my target. All right. Higher volume, rejected. We can't get through the open. Price action is going to move higher. And price action moves higher. I want to add another one up here. But here's the consolidation, right? This is the consolidation I was looking for. Come up here. Let's see if we get it. Let's see if we get it. And if we do, where's my entry at? 35, about 30, 30, 34, 35. Let's do 34, right below the low of this bar. If we get into this position, I want to be out with one right here. And just scalp around this little area right here. In, out, in, out, in, out, holding the position, scalping around this tight little area of value through the rotation. The ES is usually very rotational. There we go. There's the one. There's that. Beautiful. Now we're coming back up in here. I should have had another one right up here. I should have already had that in, and I didn't. That one comes in. Now we want to be out of this one right about here. 37.5, 36. Now we need to be at 35 and then 34. We're going to scale out of these two positions down here. Okay. And now the question becomes, where are we wrong in the overall position? Where are we wrong? If we get above this area right here. So we're going to want to scale into one more right up here. Yeah, I'm in with minis. These are minis. I'm down in the position right now, 675. And in with 4. Now I'm only down 225. What's going on here is the market is holding its range, okay? The market is absolutely 100% holding its full range in this area. And so I'm not too worried about it coming up and breaking out to the upside right now, because we're holding our range and we're creating the lower lows in the market. We really haven't made a higher high. We made a higher high of this range, but the higher high was rejection. We didn't close above the range. That's just noise, and the ES likes noise. The ES likes to follow a lot of noise. And so now we're out with 2, right? Just scalping out of the position. Still looking at risking. I don't want to risk 475 on the position now. 275, it's still a little high in risk in this. But she's being a little temperamental this morning. She's being a little rotational in this area. We get a breakout of these lows right in here. Beautiful. Now I'm going to go ahead and move this down just above. Not yet. I don't want to move it down above that high until we break this out, because the way we just broke the low there in rejection absolutely tests back into the range again. And if we test back into the range, what do you think I'm going to do? I was already out, right? I was already in. We're going to scale back in and out of these positions once again. So now we're in here around 30, 36 and a half. So we're going to go down here into about 34 and a half. About 35 and a half is fine. And we're going to scalp another point. I'm looking for this area to hold right here. If we get back through this area, I want to be short another one, because we're holding this as rejection. Beautiful. Nice rejection. Like it. But this time we're going to go ahead and move down to the 33 and a half. Sounds good. We're going to give this one a little bit more room now, because now we're working with the casino's money, not our own. We're still down 662, right? Look at the highs up here, okay? See the highs? See the higher volume that are coming into the market here, coming back into initial balance high, all right? This is our structure. If we come in and we break back above here, definitely going to have to be out. What are we up right now? $1,700 in an expense. A little high. I'm not going to allow us to take that big of an expense. But what we do gives this market a little bit of breathing room. We're anticipating price action to come down into value area low. Price action is just being rotational in the market. Let's be patient in a rotation, okay? Let's be patient in her rotation. That should be on a Hallmark card. Don't fret, be patient in her rotation. Words to live by. I would like to add another one up here, though. I really would like to add another one up here. Are you going to come back and give it to me, or are you going to move back into initial balance? Am I going to have to take a stop on you? I really don't want to have to take a stop on you. Yeah, my entries are way too high right now. I mean, what I'm saying is I'm only getting in with a few contracts right now, with one at a time, and it's not enough to bring my price up to something that's advantageous. I'm going to have to take an expense on this at some point in time. Let's try one more right here. And anything above that, I'm probably going to have to take an expense on. I have a $4,500 static drawdown risk. I'm not too concerned. I have plenty of room for this. The NASDAQ is down. Everything in our longer time frames, 240s, the 1 hour, everything is telling me down. That's why I'm willing to give this much space and room, because everything is down. And see where this bar closed. Look at all the rejection above us. We might come back up in here and test into IB right here. We might test into this high volume right here, but I don't think we're going to do much to break it. There it is. There's the test. And I really don't think we're going to do much to break this area right now. The market was probably going to call me a liar, because it doesn't care what I think. But all time frames are telling us down. And I got in a little bit early down here into this range. I should have realized that I was trading the ES and rotation. The NASDAQ can come down from this area. The ES is going to come back and test this area. I'm going to have to be a little bit more patient in this market next time. But that's okay, though. See, you don't have to worry about knee-jerk reactions. You don't have to worry about anything else along those lines, right? What we are doing is trading the area. Open P&L right now is 750. We're only down 389 on the day. After what we were down, like 900, something like that. Something stupid, I don't know. I want to put that in there yet. I've already held on to this structure. I want to really trade around this structure is what I want to do. Are we going to come in and test this area again? Are you going to test it? You are. You're going to test the area again. Are you going to test this area again? Are you going to do it? Are you going to be nice to me? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm in 6. Beautiful. Beautiful. Holding the area. Low volume at the highs. Low volume or high volume over here to act as a magnet for this target. You talk to Edith like you love her. Like, you know, so this is what I do in the context of trading. Okay. The market doesn't pray to the same gods that we do. It doesn't care about hoping and praying. It doesn't care about any of those type of things, right? I used to be an extremely emotional trader. I used to live and die by every single tick, and I used to hope and pray in my trading a lot. One of the things that really helped me in my development as a trader was to really show gratitude. Thank you. I truly appreciate that. Thank you for the opportunity for being in that position and going in my favor. Thank you for the experience. stuff like that, right? And then this is a brand new market for me, and I was already coming in nervous, and I'm trading live in front of you guys. And so I already have them, like my palms are sweaty right now, right? Weak knees are heavy, vomit on my sweater, mom spaghetti, right? And so in that context and in this live, if I allow that to manifest itself, it's going to manifest itself in a way of over trading and over analyzing. And so what I'm doing is talking through, and instead of just talking through into my mindset, right? I'm trying to do it in a way that's kind of entertaining for you guys as well. So it's not just, dribble, right? And a and a dialogue of, oh, well, the volume's here and this and that and all this other gibberish stuff that some people will be able to understand and others won't. Okay. They just flat won't understand it. And so what I'm trying to do is put that into context of all of this, right? I still have to remember, right? I have an audience and I have a show, and I'm not talking to the audience right now because I'm absolutely focused and trying to get myself dialed in to this market, because this is a completely different market than I've traded in the past. This is wider than the markets that I have, than the ES that I remember. She's much wider than I remember her being. Okay. She's moving in more extensions than she used to. And so these are changes. And so I'm trying to put this into context. Now I'm down 2,000 because I'm too heavy in this market. See, now I'm too heavy in this market. And I'm going to have to put a protective stop in at some point in time. And I think the protective stop has to come in right up here in this area. And that's still going to be too much. I have too much risk on the position. And so I'm going to do something here in a second to save myself in the position itself. Oops, hit the wrong button. Damn it. Now I'm down 731 because I just did that. That's so rude. What we're going to do is we're going to come up here, and I'm just going to wash this trade away. And this is how I'm going to do it. There's my TP right there. Oh, you're not going to come down far enough, are you? Which is really going to screw me. So now I just blew up a combine by doing this, right? But here's the point. In the context when you're underwater like that, okay? When you're expecting a pullback from an area like this, you're already in well over your limit. If you're looking at possibly blowing up an evaluation, I call it combine because Top Step was the first one that came out in like 2016, 2017, and they had their combines, right? If you're in one of those positions, okay, and you're too heavy in your risk and you're thinking you're going to blow your evaluation, it's better to try to get yourself out of this type of position here the way that I'm doing it right now than it is to just go ahead and take the expense, because when you take the expense, you don't have enough risk the next day to be able to work off of. And at least you have a chance to get out of the position, if that makes sense, right? We're the same with love going in heavy. Yeah, exactly, right? So in this one here, it backfired, and I would absolutely blow up an evaluation, okay? This is my first day back trading this market, okay? And I'm really trying to that's why I got into so many contracts there. I'm really trying to get a feel of her, okay? And a feel for her. And what I should have noticed here was the higher lows. The higher lows holding this area. We were holding this area as resistance, right? And then I got tunnel vision and thinking we're going to get into the value area low around 431, okay? We did get there. Yeah, we almost got there here. We're only one tick off, okay? I got tunneled visioned and I didn't realize the higher highs. I saw the rejection up here and I got tunnel visioned in this context of this higher low. Okay. And I should have noticed that instead of coming in and getting heavier on the shorts, I should have noticed the shift. Okay. And in the context of the shift, I don't need to be out of my position. Okay. When it comes to the shift, what I need to do is be aware of the shift itself and stop getting into the heavier positions and only be in like 2 lots instead of 7, right? That was my mistake in this context. But if you look what price action is doing right now, it came up, here's the pullback, right? Looking for price action to come back down into this area to get you out of the position. Doesn't matter. You already blew up a combine, okay, or an evaluation. So it doesn't matter at this point in time. But this is one area that I was looking at and the continuation to the downside. I was just adding into the position to tunnel vision to see a change in market condition. All right. Now we're back up here at IB, but what have we not done in IB yet? We have not come up and we have not broken the highs or retested this whole area. So where's our consolidation up here? It's right here in this area. We have one consolidation here. And the ES is very much rotational. The NASDAQ, you're looking for a momentum move in a bar, right? And here, I'm looking for a momentum move in the bar. But we don't get momentum moves in this market very often. We get rotation in this market. So I got to change my thought process on it a little bit. Now we're above VWAP. Being above VWAP, this here could definitely act as support. And I'm getting into short positions when we should be looking at potential longs. Why am I doing this? Because we're still rotational to the downside. I'm way off in everything that I'm doing right now. We're rotational to the upside. We did hit value area low here. And value area high is where we anticipate price action to go to. You want to wait for your area up here. Okay. Okay. Let's stop scalping for a moment. Let's get out of this position when it stops me out because we know it's going to stop me out. Let's just be out because it's going to go up. And let's wait for the area. And let's go ahead and trade this like we're supposed to trade it in an area, not in scalping. But I'm going to go ahead and scalp a little bit, but only one contract at a time. One contract at a time coming up here into this area. And let's see if I can scalp this market into the unfair highs, into low volume nodes of unfair highs. Let's see. Got above this area. We're holding into here. Where is it doing right now? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're back here in the area. There's the low volume. IB right here. Rejecting. Did we get up here? Are you going to come up here and test this? No, you're not. All right, so the move's already gone. I don't want to be in that anymore. We have the open here. We have the close. We have the open here. We have the close. Close. Open. Down below the close. Very low volume beneath us. One ticked. Low volume. Higher volume. Let's go ahead and buy this and look for a continuation play to the upside. Very small risk right now. Okay. And here's the rotation. VPOC. Buy it right through here. Lower volume. Again, here at the lows. Buyers are stepping in right up here. Holding VWAP as support. And now we get through VWAP. So now we want to wait again. We're going to do the same thing right here. There we go. 12.5. Up 50. Move stop to break even. We're up 50, 62. We're going to lock in another tick. Another tick. There we go. That's how you scalp in the ES. You get screwed doing that in the NASDAQ, but that's how you scalp in the ES. Okay, there's another one. Let's go ahead and put a small risk in here. Very small risk. Okay. And now the down sideways, I need to wait for another bar in order to be able to scalp again. Unless we get down here into this area. Testing the high right there, I want to be long. If you're testing that high, I want to be long. That high right down here. And then where am I wrong at? Here, a little too big of a risk. Way too big of a risk on a scalp. And we're going to pull some of this risk out. Back into IB again. So not looking for a continuation to the upside. I'm looking for another rotation to the downside. Wait for this bar to close. I'm looking for a short on a close below the IB in here. Let's see if we get it. Didn't get the close below. There we go. There we go. I like this. Okay, there we go. That was a good rotation. That was a good scalp rotation right there. That was good hunting. Now I need to wait for another bar. Collecting volume here at the low. Just probably going to break this. There we go. Dodging and weaving and dodging. Yeah, there was the rejection right there. I should have been long right here. That was the rotation that I saw on the downside coming through. I should have been long right here. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's okay. I missed that. That's all right. Back up here in this area. There we go. Looking for a rotation down from here. This is probably going to pop up to the north side though, so I want to be very careful on this. Very tight stop. I'm going to get back $75 on that. Okay. Back down into this area. Good. Nice pullback. Do we get back into here? If we get back into here, I want to be long again. Let's go ahead and move this up by a tick. There. Beautiful. Move our stop down here for right now, just in case it does decide to break down. 25. 1, 2. There's 4. Let's go ahead and move this to a break even. It's not moving up with momentum. There we go. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and lock in 50. There's 62.5. There's 75. We're going to just keep on going up with it. Beautiful. About to break VWAP? Yeah, exactly. Yes, yes, yes. And this one's moving up a little bit higher here. We have volume accumulating up here. Anticipate the high to continue to break. What eval am I on? I'm on a trade. So when I first came in here to trade live, before I was trading live, I was just trading my cash account. And then everybody's on these evals, right? And in the context of the evals, I went ahead and went to an eval. So I went to a Tradeify 150,000 select. And I wanted to be long here. I didn't push the button, but I wanted to be long here. That's so rude. Again, higher volume up here. Anticipate price action to break up. Let me watch this volume here. There's lighter volume, 156 sellers right up there. A lot more sellers. If we get below here, I want to be a seller. Are you going to move below here? I want to be a seller if you're going to move below here. Oh, do I still want to be a seller? I do at the moment. If you break that high though and you keep on going, I don't want to be a seller. This is the bar I wanted to be long in, and I missed it. I hesitated. We have the sellers up here at the high. Do we get through that? Okay, continuation play to the upside. If anything, be long with this bar closing where it's at, holding VPOC, moving back up into 74.55. We break this high here, and we're going to move into the 74.55 pretty quickly, more than likely. There we go. And short this because of delta. Got below the open, purple delta. Damn it. Thank you. This is going to go up. I need to reduce my risk in it. This is going to pop back up again. There we go. Then we're just going to go with momentum. This is just a little momentum push, anticipation of momentum coming in before the high, before the break of the high. That's all I'm doing right here on this position. And see what happens when I don't talk to her like she's a woman. I start to second guess myself. I really want to be up here at the higher volume right here for a target, but that's fine. That is fine. And now we just broke the high, very low volume up there. Look for a continuation play to the downside here. Look for more of a pullback from the high volume above us. This is much wider position, so now we're going to need to target a much higher position down here. Right below this low. Yeah, we're going to need to get more than that. It's probably not going to give it to us. So I'm going to have to move it into here. And if we find the rejection off of IB, that's going to be an issue. That's going to be an issue. Let's go ahead and move this stop down a little bit. Make the pain a little bit less. Okay, good. Move it back to a break even and get out of the position because it's not doing what I anticipated it to do, and get rid of this. I didn't like how it was holding IB there. I did not like how it was holding IB at all. In the right reasons up here, I didn't like how it was holding IB. Now let's see if we can come back up here and short back through IB again. Coming back down into VWAP. Still down 324 on the day. I'm going to adjust that. This is ridiculous. 1024. Down 324 on the day. Not good. Not a good showing. Not a good showing at all. Oh, you bastard. That wasn't very nice. Make me get in a lower price. That was not nice at all. Not even a little bit. You can break that. Good. Thank you. Appreciate you. You can go back down again. Break that low. Into VPOC. No, you don't want to? Okay, beautiful. I didn't get nearly as much out of you as I wanted to. So I didn't push the button there to get out here in time. VWAP is holding as support. Low volume down here at the lows. Buyer stepping in right down here at this area. Price actions continue to look higher. Delta is down. Still in a up bar. We're going to go up. I got in too late. I wanted that little quick pop right there. I wanted that little quick pop, and I missed it because I got in late. That was rude. All right. Well, let's get rid of this. You guys are kind of challenging me today on this market. I'm having a hard time getting a feel for it. Still looking at moving into value area high. Where's value area high right now? 461. That'd be a really good trade, actually. Let's see if we can't get into the 461. We're going to get into 460. 460 and a half sounds good to me. What do you got? That's a nice pick. Daily payouts. Well, you got the daily payouts, but for me, it's the $4,500 in a day drawdown. And there's no, so I don't have a high watermark. I don't have a high watermark trailing drawdown on that account. That's my whole key. The high watermark trailing drawdowns are going to kill you, right? That rule is set for strictly for the prop firms to act as a casino and make money like Vegas does. And so I wanted an account that wasn't going to have a high watermark daily drawdown. And most individuals when I talk to don't even know what that is. And that's scary. Because now what you're doing is you're trading. Oh my God, it came into an area I didn't even notice. I needed to be short there. Why didn't I notice this area right here? Because I don't have it on. God damn it. Excuse my language. Damn it. Because I don't have it on here is why. Oh. That's just plain dumb. God bless it. Now I'm kind of upset with myself. I should have been short. I should have been short right here in this area. And I'm messing with a long when I need to be short. All right. Well, let's try it again. Next rotation. You make a mistake, you know what? You gotta brush it off, and you just gotta keep moving forward. And now we're gonna go ahead and get into 3, 4 positions in here in case it comes back up again. And it's not the daily payouts. I'm not worried about the daily payouts or anything along those lines. I just don't want a high watermark drawdown. It makes no sense to have a high watermark drawdown in a prop account, right? You get yourself up $51,000 in a day, and you immediately, let's say you have a $2,000 drawdown, you immediately go to $49,000. Well, then if you turn around and you lose that $1,000, the $49,000 stays, and now you're at $50,000, even though you're a break even for the day. Now you have $50,000 and $49,000. You only have $1,000 in risk the next day because of the daily high because of the high watermark drawdown. That's how those work, and it sucks and it's terrible. So I picked an evaluation that doesn't have that. That was the whole reason. I just saw, okay, that's the gap. Sorry, Jerry. I thought you had said something, but you were just talking about the gap earlier. I've been ignoring chat. I'm trying to read this market, and I'm doing a terrible job of it right now. Terrible job of reading this market. We're going to go ahead and do another one right here. I didn't get it in time, did I? That's rude. Now, see, that just was not nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, no, but now I'm out of my position. I thought I was in 3. Oh, that was rude. Oh, well. That's okay. We're only down $86 on the day now. Where is VPOC at in this market right now? Where are you? You're down here? Yeah, you're right here at 447, right here. Are we going to see? Nope, you're going to trade right through it. Sweet. Okay. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Well, no, this is an area. Where is this area coming in from? Oh, from here. Okay, let's get rid of that area. I don't need that area anymore. There we go. But this area I want to maintain above me. I want to maintain this area here. But I don't need that other area that was below. We're still in a rotational market. Still in rotation. We still haven't come up into value area high. That's problematic for this market. We're back above 447. I should have been a buyer at 447, but I'm looking at other things now. I'm not paying any attention. Don't know if I want to be a buyer at 447, but my plan was to be a buyer at 447. You like that? I had a plan to go 447 for a long, and then I went short anyhow. Like that? There we go. And get that volume down there, retest that. Oh, come on. Yeah, you want to. Go back down there, retest that volume. You'll like it. It's sweet. That's sweet volume down there. That individual is in the market down there is a nice person. You can go back down there and say hi to him. No. Rude. So rude. I should just scalp that and been out of the position at 50 ticks or $50, 4 ticks. But that's okay. I did not. I'm waiting for a continuation play to the downside. I'm waiting for a bigger move here. I'm looking for this market to come back down into the 430s. Question is she going to do it or not? She has miter of her own right now. Barely broke the low in here. I should be long here on this bar. Barely broke the low. There's your rejection right in here. Very low volume on the break of the low. Always go long on those. The lessons I'm remembering. And the ES and its crazy rotations. I'm still down $86 on the day too. This is a bunch of malarkey. At 10:32 in the morning? The frick, man. What the hell am I doing? But if you look, just remember, price has never come into my areas. This is all scalping. I have had no trades at all today trading my plan. Not a single one. There's been one of those days where you just would have stayed flat because price action didn't do anything. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's like its bags are packed and there's nobody, it's Home Alone is what it is. This is just like Home Alone. I like it. I'm going to stick with that. Yeah, man, telling DD is as I'm sticking to in a day. Yeah, right. Daily, exactly. The daily drawdowns, right? In a day or static. The best static drawdown you can possibly get is a $300,000 prop with Blue Sky. Blue Sky Trading has a $5,000, $300,000. You have to make $20,000. So that's the only reason why I'm not in it. I have 4,500 in a day. It's not static, but I only have to make 9K. Secret, you are back. Welcome. Good to see you. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to see you. Okay, now we fought back. Now we're back positive again. All right. Let's see what I can do now that I'm positive. I don't have to try to trade out of negative drawdown anymore. Now I can relax in my trading and I can say, okay, what are we doing here? Bar closes at its low. Okay. Low volume up here, can't break the highs. Okay. No reason why I shouldn't be short here, anticipating price action to come back into the close of this bar. All right. Let's see what happens. I missed it, so I'm not chasing it, but there it is. See that low volume up here? You guys can't see it. There. It's that low volume in here as we're testing the close of this bar. Okay. And you know what? maybe what I should do is come back onto the time frame I used to trade on. Oh yeah. Yeah. See the low volume up here testing into the high volume? Oh my. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Is this really any different, or am I just seeing it different in this context on this bar? Let me look. Continuation play to the upside. Test the low volume. Move above. There's the long. Okay. Looking good. This looks much better. My time frame just too low? I think my time frame is too low. This is the time frame I used to trade her on. I used to scalp the hell out of the Sun of 5 minute. I went to a 2 minute on the Nasdaq because Nasdaq is just it's too volatile. 2 minute setups are a little bit easier, but in this market, this might be the answer. This might just be the answer. Continuation play to the short side here. Look at the lack of volume at the high up here as it's testing into here. You guys mind if I replay this on the 5 minute? You guys mind if I start the replay again on the 5 minute on the same day? Do you learn more from reading the market directly than from theory? So what I do is I have my theory, right? And my theory I put into my plan every single day. So I put my theory into this plan every single day. Okay. And in the context of the theory, all right, I test it. I test the theory in the live edge of trading it live, and I test the theory here in playbacks. Okay. This is a market. This is the ES. I haven't even looked at the ES since I retired in December of 2019. I looked at the ES last time, and I said in 2019. No, it was like March of 2020, and it was just so volatile. I couldn't do anything with it, and I walked away from trading completely. I was planning on never looking back. And so the theory I already have, and I just continue to test and develop the theory at the live edge. And the development is the execution of the theory. I haven't changed my theory since 2012 when I really got good with auction market theory. Okay. And that was in 2012. So I haven't changed my theory since then. Wait for it. Right there. There it is. Now we're looking for a little bit of momentum coming into the market. Boom. Bow. A little bit more. Come on, a little bit more. There we go. Beautiful. Thank you. 775 on the day. Okay. This is much better. This is much better. You know what? Nobody said anything. I don't care. I'm replaying this at 9:30 on a 5-minute chart. Oh my God. Am I back? Am I back in the ES? I just saw that with a vengeance right there. That was awesome right there. What I just saw, that little continuation play to the downside, that was picture perfect. I'm not even going to have I'm going to take the IB off, so there's no way that I know the areas. I'm going to delete all of my drawings everywhere on every single time period, so I don't have anything reflecting back to where price is anywhere. I'm not going to have any areas. I'm not going to have anything else, and I'm going to scalp the ES just off of a 5-minute time frame just to see if I can do it. That's what I'm going to do. Where are my drawing stuff at? Why isn't it giving me my drawing stuff? Did I break it? Tool configuration. No, why isn't it letting me? Delete my, okay, there we go. There we go, it's just on something. So drawing utilities, erase all drawings, confirm. Okay, just show you guys all drawings are confirmed, erased off of this chart, okay? And then we're going to make sure that they're erased over on the other time frame too when I hit set here. Because I'm just going to scalp the ES directly off of a 5-minute chart. I'm not even going to use areas. Because if what I just saw is any inclination, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. You guys can see this. Utilities, erase all drawings. Yes. There's no drawings on here at all. All I have is VPOC. VPOC and volume. That's it. Let's go. Same day. We're just scalping. Price actions at the open. I'm not touching the open. I'm going to start this at 10. What is your view regarding open interest? I think everything can work in any type of market condition. I just think you need to know what condition, what you're looking at works. Open interest, I don't pay attention to it. I think open interest can be manipulated. Open interest, I can't get an area off of it, right? And what does it actually mean in the context of overall volume that's being traded by participants? And how does it interact with that? It's like options, right? You have max pain indexes and all this other stuff, right? The VIX and volatility and everything else along those lines when it comes into options and things. And it's like, how does that actually have a reflection on price? And I don't know. And if I don't know something and I don't understand the theory of it behind it, or I don't understand how the mechanics of it, the mechanism of it, I'm not playing. I don't touch it. Not because it doesn't work, just I don't understand it well enough to be able to trade it, if that makes sense. And that's an issue on me. It's not an issue on anybody else. I used to trade this between 10 and 11 o'clock, and I had daily expectancy of $1,000 a day. And so let's bring this into 10 o'clock. So if that makes sense about open interest, I set a sell limit at 683. Oh, in the NASDAQ. Yeah, 10 minutes trying to hit this 40% consistency done. Yeah, 10 minis. Okay, gotcha. 10 minis trying to get the 40% consistency. Yeah, the consistency rules suck too. You know, they're prop firms. They're not here for us to make money. They're here for themselves to make money. That's what it really all just boils down to, right? Let me watch this real quick. See how we're into the low volume in here. We're coming into this high volume here, coming in the shelf of volume almost into the low volume itself. See how we're starting the buyers step in, right? Got the buyers stepping in here, looking for the high to break. And I'm looking for the high to break on low volume. Do we get it? Do we get it? Do we get back to this shelf? There we go. There's a short. Now we're on the short, right? Very small stop. Very small stop. Looking forward to get back through the open. It's not, so I'm going to go ahead and take out with a small revenue. We just weren't able to get back through the open again to get back down. That means that price action is probably going to come up and test the high volume. Not interested in playing in that. And I'm going to wait. Now we got through the open. Okay. Now that we're through the open again, I can get back in again. Where am I wrong? Right up here. And now I'm anticipating price action to come down and test this low down here. Let's see if it happens. I don't like the green delta after the open. I don't like it at all. So I'm going to take a very small, I'm going to just take a break even on this. Bring it in, take a little bit of revenue as it's coming back down again. But I don't like the green delta. Not even a little bit. I'm just going to keep on scaling this out again. Scalping it down tick by tick as it's coming down, right? Let's see what happens at the low. I want to test this low. See the high volume? Anticipate this low to break. Or at least this low to be tested. Not break, but the low to be tested. Excuse me. Use the wrong verbiage there. We just came up a much lower volume. Much lower volume. I should have been a buyer down here. Or right through here somewhere, right in here. I should have bought this bar, and I didn't, and that's okay. Make the numbers easier. Let's just go with one contract instead of trying to trade 4 right now. Just make the numbers easier, more relatable to most individuals. I like to trade size. 275. Okay, anticipate the high to break. High's breaking as anticipated. Look for a pullback into this area right in here. I'm looking for a pullback into this area right in here. I would much prefer this area down in here. Right in here. Let's see if we can get a pullback into this area instead. And that'd be holding the close. Where are we at here? Kind of a tough position in the 240. 240 is looking bearish. But the 60-minute is looking long. And I missed it. Did price action come down here? I completely missed that. I don't know if it came down here to the area or not. I just know we're still up here. I wasn't paying any attention. I should have probably put an order in here just in case, but I didn't. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Initial balance is still on here. That's a shame. I meant to take it off. Let's go ahead and do that. There. And that's one of the reasons why I don't use GEX. I don't use a lot of the information out there. You know, individual talks about GEX. They talk about what's the other volume stuff that you can look at? I can't think of what it's called right now, but there's something else, and there's not volume, but options, right? And here's the thing about options, and this kind of goes into open interest as well, right? In options, you're not buying a contract. You're buying a derivative of a derivative. Okay? If that makes any sense. What's a derivative? So you have a security, okay? So a security like a stock, okay? So think of it, so you have a stock, you have a security. And in that security, contracts can be written off that security, which are options, okay? Or you can have indices, like here, the ES and the other indexes, right? And they're derivatives off of the securities. So they're set based upon a basket of the securities in which is held within the indice that you're trading, okay? Well, when you have options, options are a contract between a buyer and a seller, okay, at a strike price, all right, that is in the money or out of the money, okay, and then they can be exercised, all right, and I guess that's what it really boils down to. But see, here's the thing though, people will call max pain, right, and it's for options that are underwater, but options underwater don't get exercised, and they don't get exercised, they're not actually implicating the volume within the futures that we see here. Okay? They're not. Because if you're underwater, you have the right to execute an option. And unless you execute the option, it's not an actual market order. It came right down into my area. It just touched my area right below my entry. There we go. There's my entry. It just got hit. And so I have a hard time with that because you're looking at volume of options that aren't even being you're looking at volume of options that aren't even executed, or damn it, I need to get back in here. I'm trying to trade and trying to scalp and teach a concept at the same time, and it's not working for me. Just because you have a contract out there doesn't mean that it's executed. If it's not executed, it's like a limit order. It doesn't even hit the actual volume of the market because it's just a derivative. It's just a contract. That's not even part of the market. See? This is scalping, my friends. This is scalping. Oh, my 5-minute chart. Why didn't I even think about that? I didn't even think about moving the time frame. Damn it. Anyways, so you have this max pain, but if you have options that are underwater below the strike price, you're not going to be executing those at the rollover date or the expiration date. You're just not. And so they're not going to move the market because nobody's going to execute them because it's a right, not an obligation. The person that wrote the contract, that wrote the option itself is obligated to exercise the option, to sell the option or to buy the option, depending on what the contract was for, if the buyer exercises it. And so max pain and those type of things in the options doesn't make any sense to me because it doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like people were talking about how the AI broke into that other company, right? And that other company, had evaluations or whatever. Now the AI is trading evaluations, and that's what caused the spike to happen. But wait a second. The evaluations are in SIM. This is a SIM account. This isn't a live account. Even when I'm in my evaluation and I'm trading live in an evaluation, it's just that the evaluation is just watching what it is that I am doing, and so in that context, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense at all. And so there's no way that the spike that happened last week on a couple of days could have been from AI, because those would have been non-market orders in the first place. They wouldn't have even hit the market. So there's no way that could have been from that. But yet that's people's explanations. I learned from books, and I learned from theory, and I learned from dissecting information if it makes sense or not. That's how I learn. And a lot of the information that's out there just flat doesn't make sense. Any of it. And yeah, I'm with you, MetaTrader, exactly. Yeah, I need to trade prop firm as if it was my own money and get to pay my payouts. Exactly, absolutely. But you know what, though? You can do the same thing with SIM. As long as you're doing in SIM what you're supposed to be doing and you're not lying to yourself in the results. So for example, right? Oh, I took that position there. I wouldn't have done that live. That was just me testing whatever. That's not a real trade. We're just going to take that one out of the equation. And then you turn around and you do that in the live account, right? That's where people get themselves in trouble. Look at this, right down to the area. Look at that. Bam, almost to the tick. Call the low of that bar. I was out with very little money on it, right? Because I was scalping. But still, that's what I'm talking about. You know what we're going to do? We're going to short this. I didn't want to short it. Let's get out with an expense. Very small expense. See, that's scalping. But you know what we're going to do, though? I'm going to short this again. Accumulating the volume here. It's going to come up and hit my stop. It's going to break the high. Yeah, I didn't have a chance to actually do anything with that position there. All right, so that's 200. We're only up 600 now instead of 800. The first one I was a little bit early with where VBOC was, but that one there, I was looking at that volume right in there. So let's stop looking at this bar and let's look at the context of where we're at and where we're trading at around here. And where would I expect to see possible rejection from? And right now, right about here, right there, we should see some rejection in the market to the downside. And that rejection happened, and I wasn't able to react to it fast enough because of the volatility in this market. This market's a little bit more volatile than what it was when I was doing this off of a 5-minute chart. Coming right down here into this area again, holding VPOC, come back down a little bit, testing it again. Let's go ahead and buy this, looking for the high to be tested. There it is. Beautiful. Thank you. It's taking little chips out of her. There we go. Damn it, I got a terrible fill there. That was not a good fill at all. I'm looking for this high to be tested now. I don't really want it to come back through the open again, so let's go ahead and take a really tight stop. Instead of opening the stop up, let's take a really tight stop. I should have been out of that position. Shouldn't have held that. We're going to get back into her again, though. Get through my position. Beautiful. If it gets back through the open again, I want to be out, and this time I'm not going to mess with this if it stops me out. Because the momentum isn't happening. And it's not moving high enough for me to be able to move this stop to a break even. By the time I try to move this to the break even, it's already going to be against me. There we go. One tick. We're going to leave this bar alone now because it's not doing what I anticipated to do, but here it goes. Nope, still not. See? So sometimes you just have to stay out of the market because it's not doing what you would anticipate it to do, and so you just wait. You just wait. So there's a little bit of both. Vito, how's it going? I was just talking about you a little while ago. But yeah, now I'm over here. Somebody wanted me to trade the ES, and so I'm just on a 5-minute chart right now, scalping the ES. I don't even have areas right now. I'm just scalping. I'm just playing. I'm playing in the market, trying to scalp around a 5-minute time frame in the ES. It's good times. You should try it sometimes. It'd be fun, they said. Yeah. This is going to come down here. I don't want to take a $162 expense on this stupid thing. I was up 800 and now I'm down. We opened gap up nice. Yeah, I know. Everybody was telling me about it, and I was like, yep, I was thinking about you. Well done, sir. Well done. I mean, I wish I knew somebody that could actually call that stuff, right? That would be nice. Call it before it happens. I really wish I knew somebody that had that skill. I mean, do you know anybody, Vito? I hope I make you laugh at my dumb jokes at the very least. Back up to 600 again. Let's see if I can get to 800. Oh man. I mean, your ICT skills are amazing, Vito. Really, truly appreciate when you highlight your ICT skills for me. Thank you. See, I keep trying to get in up here, and it's a fool's play. You're in too close to the open and too tight, but I keep waiting for this high to break. You know, and then the moment, of course, you hit your max pain, because it's like it's wanting to go, but then it doesn't. It's wanting to go and then it doesn't. It's wanting to go and then it doesn't. And then you're finally fine, right? I'm just done with you. I'm not going to touch you anymore. And then she goes. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But that's trading. That right there is trading. And we're a couple up bars in this market. We're still below our area on the 240. The 60 doesn't even know what it's doing. And so this is like one of those days, right? And as we already talked about in the 30-minute chart in this context, right? This day here in the ES, the 30-minute is telling you not to do anything. And we already know this from during the PMA of last time, right? When I was doing this, because we don't even come up here into these areas, but we do right here, and we are right now. And I need to be short right now. How is it that I didn't see that last time? Hold on. Oh, you know why? It did see it last time, but I was stuck in that. I was stuck in that long being stupid. I was stuck on stupid. If you've never been stuck on stupid, I would suggest doing it once in your life, but never do it more than once. Facts. Now I'm looking for price action to come back down again, more than likely into VPOC around 447. I'm only in one contract, so we can go ahead and put 447.75 in here. Sounds good. 619 key weekly level, short or long here. So are you saying 619 could be short or long? Is that what you're saying, Vito? Now we're back up to 850. Sweet. And that's the first time we actually hit an area. And then where could we possibly go down to? It's possible we can go down to 430.75. Right, it's possible we can come down here and break this low. Okay. But I'm only trading one lots right now. I just targeted VPOC. And I should have been in a little bit higher. Because the 30-minute right here, this is the first trade off of the 30-minute chart. This is the first trade that we've had that's actually an actual trade out of an area rather than just scalping. Everything else this morning, I've just been scalping off of a 5-minute chart. No areas, no anything. I'm just testing my skills in the ES. I haven't looked at the ES in so long. Just testing my skills, see how my scalping skills are in this market. Did you stutter? Nope, just my brain. You were fine. You spoke the correct words, sir. My brain stutters. It's like I was reading it like right? I didn't know what to do. I'm sorry. You don't have to yell at me. Jeez. Not you a dinosaur. You're a crabby old dinosaur, man. Jesus. Like a stegosaurus or something. Mean. Like a little gremlin. What did I do to you? Now, when you have a key level of the six, like a serious question, when you have a key level of like 619 and you're looking long and short out of that area, well, you can go long or you can go short, right? From that one area. How do you determine direction? VWAP. And just like here, VWAP is holding support, right? VWAP is holding support and what's happening, right? We're coming down here into these areas. I could be a buyer right here. In fact, buying right here is not a bad idea. Just buy blind. Flip a coin. How much money has been made on the floor from a coin flip? Seriously. Just out of curiosity, how much money on the floor has been made from a coin flip? More money than not? I don't know. Inquiring minds. Oh, I'm sure it's been done. Absolutely. No, I'm sure it's been done more than once. I bet it's been done just to prove a point. I always heard the adage, the idea, right, that more money was made in the markets on mistakes than on actual market calls. Is that true on your side as well from what you saw? Or is that an absolute false statement? You know, I mean, you know my experience. I was on in the institutional side, just different from the institutional side that you were on. You know, but still the institutions. Um, and so that was one of the adage that I've always heard on our side, that when you're in the markets like that, more money has always was made on mistakes than actual right calls. There were times when I put a long in and they by accident they put in short and it worked. Yeah, yeah. I love it. Well, and I also heard a rumor too that in cattle, feeder cattle, I think is what it was. They used to in the 70s, they would have all their orders, the buy and the sell, right? And at the end of the day, they would put the orders, the buy slips together. And so the buy slips and the sell slips weren't because of what happened in the market. They just had the buy slips and the sell slips of all the orders. And then they would turn around and take a group of winning trades and put them over here. They take a group of losing trades and put them over here. And then they would turn around and group those into accounts. But I heard that was in the 70s, though. That was probably outside of your day. Did you ever hear anything about that happening and like that? 70s, I'm not that old. Exactly. Well, no, exactly. I didn't know if maybe you heard stories from individuals that you worked with and that taught you and stuff, of anything along those lines. See, guys, he put me on a 5-minute chart. I'm much better off in this market on a 5-minute chart. I can actually get an idea of what the ES is doing on a 5-minute chart. I can't do that on a 2-minute in this market. It's just too mean. She's mean to me. You like lower time frames? I like lower time frames than the NASDAQ. In the ES, the 5-minute is where it's at for me. I can absolutely read the heck out of the 5-minute chart. I've always been able to do that in the ES. Well, not always, but once I figured out, you know, what I was actually doing with my life, if you will. Stop being Timmy from South Park and actually, you know, trading with some sort of sense. Huge difference in trading like Kyle comparatively to Timmy. And there's 1375 on the day in 20 minutes of trading in the ES. But before they gave us the Fujitsu handheld, they stacked paper orders. Okay. So they did do that. Nice. Nice. Heard rumors about that. I'm not going to get into more detail than that, but I heard rumors about that. You ever pick up your phone and it's like, geez, this guy's always on. What the hell is he doing? He's crazy. Yeah, I wanted to put a sell limit order in here, to tell you the truth. One right here. I didn't. I really wanted to, though. I really wanted to put one in there, and I didn't. I don't want it now, though, because the move is already done. That little move we just got down there through here and then back up again. Just wanted that little pop from the first test of this area of this high volume again, anticipating the sellers to come into the market, not knowing that they're going to turn around and break the high, but that first instance of sellers coming back into the market after the test. Where are you headed? You're at the airport right now waiting? Where are you headed? Or are you picking somebody up? You got to be going somewhere. Where are you going? You know, offer me a bag to hide in? What's wrong with you? God, I thought we were friends. Are you picking up your sister? Okay. All right. Well, that's different. That's different. I love how tight your family is. But I mean, you're Italian. I don't know an Italian family that isn't tight. And I should already be out of this. I don't even know why I'm still in it, to be honest. So I'm talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. This is what happens when I lose focus and track of the market. When you travel, the helicopter lands in your backyard. it. I love it. I know that's not true, and I love it. It could be true. It could be true. I just know what we talked about. You'd be in real estate and instead of having a helicopter. That's how I know it's not true. Damn it. I really should have been out of this. Now I'm going to take a fairly hefty drawdown because I wasn't paying attention to what the hell I was doing. Vito probably owns a penthouse. Man, Rhythmic sucks. Why does Rhythmic suck? You're not Jordan Belfort or Tony Robbins. Jordan Belfort. Oh my God, that is so funny. He's actually. Have you noticed that he's still on social media? The fills are so bad with Rhythmic. I mean, yeah, I've noticed that too a little bit every once in a while, where I'll push the button, but it's really the bid and the ask, and the bid is, or the ask is already, like, if I'm going long and the offer is already increased, then I'll get that next tick up. But I'm telling you though, the Asia market, I have noticed slippage in the Asia market. That's why I don't trade Asia. You guys won't see me trade Asia because of the slippage. I've gotten slippage in that market, and I will tell you this much right now: trading the indices long enough, I don't like slippage. I'll expect slippage in heating oil. I'll expect slippage in gasoline futures. I don't expect slippage in the indices. And if I'm getting slippage in the indices, it means that it's not liquid enough to handle my position. And if I'm only trading one lots and it can't handle my position because I get slippage, it's a market I don't want to trade. That's just me. But now you understand. And then Q got hit with a 20-point push into a loss. It's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. Absolutely. I don't know if it's Rhythmic though, or if it's the lack of liquidity in the Asia market. Because I don't have that problem in the US market. I don't have that problem in the London session. I said US market, I should say US session. London session, Asia session, sessions. Need to make sure I'm using the right vocabulary. I tried a long setup. I tried a long stop below 5-minute wick low. I should have gotten out here. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. But here's the next short setup. Now I'm going to take a pretty significant loss on this for not getting out of it early. It's rude. It's rude. But I lost focus of what it is that I'm doing too. So it's just like, whatever. Now it's just kind of paper money. See what you did to me, Vito? Damn it. Blame you, my friend. Meet me at the statue. I'm sorry. I can't. I love your stories. You're the only person in this world that I know of right now that I would absolutely send people to. So that's how I think about you. And I think you've already talked to somebody that's in the stream right now, that reached out to you because I was talking about you. You got stopped out. It's just another trade. Exactly. It's just another trade. It is a different world now. It's such a different world now. Yeah, you can't go meet at the statue anymore. You can't even say that anymore. I mean, you can't even create an inclination that you may actually even think about doing that. I mean, you still can, right? But you just can't. What you can't do is say you're going to meet there before you actually go, right? Good. See? Oh, and look. Oh, yeah, I can show that. It's fine. I got that monitor I was telling you about. And instead of putting the charts up there because it's curved, So weird. I didn't even think that this was going to be the case, but I'll tell you what happened to the curve monitors, right? I tried to put a chart up there, and the curve of the chart itself from that monitor messed with my eyes. And I'm like, oh, hell no. No, 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 no. This is okay because I don't have to look at the center where the curve is. But I don't know if you guys have ever looked at a curved monitor and looked at charts on a curved monitor. Messed with my head. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Boom, now you can afford parking. Parking, and you can even take your sister to Starbucks. Look at you, Vito. I'm proud of you. Good job, my friend. Good job. Yeah. Oh, if you guys, listen up, okay? If if I stop streaming, okay, look for me next to Jimmy Hoffa's body. All right, that's all I gotta say. If I ever stop streaming, just look for me next to Jimmy Hoffa's body. Again, area up here, and for whatever reason, like a dope, I'm going long in my area. I'm going long in here instead of going short in my area like a dope. What happens when you stop paying attention to what the hell you're doing? And this is why I have such a difficult time trading live. I do really, really well, you know, and then I'll start engaging with other people and I just lose. I lose my connection. I lose everything and start doing stupid things. Um, that the great thing about TradingView mobile app. It's a dub of your main charts. That's awesome. Um, I've never done anything in the context of trying to trade on a remote device like a phone or something like that before. Now, I will tell you this. I was running a trading room in 2010, right after I left the prop firms. I went in and started running a trading room for stocks. And I was traveling to Atlanta from North Carolina, and it was like 3:30 in the afternoon. I was doing my whole end of day stock thing. I went into a McDonald's with three monitors and a laptop and connected it all together in a McDonald's with my microphone and ran a trading webinar at McDonald's. And then McDonald's people were like looking at me, and then people, of course, were coming in and they're like, "What the hell is going on?" It was pretty funny. That's the craziest trading story I have. If you look at my posted trades I took, you can see the navigation on trading while I'm out. That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, I'm gonna have to look at TradingView because they also have something on there that I can't get here. And so I need to take a look at it because I feel like there's a missing piece that I have in all of this. And I think I have a kind of an idea of what it is. And I need to take a look at that. And what I should be doing right now is trading the Asian session with the information that you gave me. I didn't even think about that. That didn't even correlate into my head at the Asian Open that I should be looking at doing that. Next time that will click. I'm a little slow. You gotta be patient with me, Vito. Okay, I was a jarhead, right? Muscles are required, intelligence not essential. I'm a little slow sometimes. You just got to put that into context. I'll get there. I'll eventually show up where I'm supposed to. It's It's going to take me a little time to get there. Yeah, Confluence above 619 and respective VWAP, easy trade. Yeah. I should be on the NASDAQ right now. Somebody wanted me to trade the ES, and I was like, well, you know what? I'll take a look at it. I used to trade the ES solely, and then I went to the NASDAQ when I came back here. But I need to take a look at that. I'm one of those people, sometimes you have to spell out things too. Blonde moments. Can't believe I'm in a long right now. It irritates me. I went long in this market. Up here. Going long down here makes a lot of sense to me. Going long up here, in hindsight, no, that was dumb. That was absolutely dumb. Especially when I have an area over here on a longer time frame. And everything is below my areas on higher time frames. That's dumb. Not my best showing. Because I have a feeling that this market is going to break down. It has a feel of wanting to break down. It's not wanting to go up at all. And I have a feeling it's going to at least come back down and test the 431 on this particular day, but I think it's going to go down farther than that. Testing into high volume, rejecting the high volume, come down through the open, test the low, break the low, test the previous lows. Yeah, that irritates me. Trade what I see. Yeah, never have a bias. Well, and I didn't have a bias either. What I did was I wasn't paying attention to the area up here. I wasn't even paying attention to this area and why I did it. What I was doing is I was scalping. And what I was looking for was this nice big up bar right here and a connection of down here testing into this high volume down here. And the fact that we couldn't get below it and bringing price action back up into the area. But this is a 30-minute area. This is my 30-minute area telling me that I need to be short in this area. And I bought it instead of going short because I was in too much focus of my short-term chart. I mean, you never heard that from me before. I've never done that before. God, it's ridiculous. And then I'm supposed to be out of the position, yet I'm still holding it. 1200 negative. Because I distracted myself and stopped paying attention. And then just let it go. Hoping and praying to the gods that the market doesn't listen to. Hope it makes it up to previous day's high. Oh, for your stuff? Are you talking about the NASDAQ right now? Is that what you're looking for? NASDAQ go up to previous day's high? Or are you talking about here? In the ES. And then the ES isn't going up to 750, 70, 75, 49 and a half. There's just no way. And we're not even holding in the high volume here at the moment. I mean, I guess we are at the moment, but we're not going to. And with this delta down here like this, getting the higher volume below these lows in here, or right at these lows. Yeah, no, this isn't showing any signs of rejection to me. This is actually showing signs of moving back down and testing into the lows. Yeah, you're trading in Q. Yeah. And you're looking at yesterday's high. God. Did it fill the there was a gap earlier, wasn't there? In the NASDAQ? Didn't we have a gap above us? Did it fill that? And I see what you're doing now. I have an idea, anyhow, of what it is that you're doing now. And next time you have that idea, share what you shared with me before, and I will be right there with you next time. I apologize that I wasn't there with you this time. That's my bad. Right, we gapped up, right? But didn't we gap down? Didn't we have an unfilled gap in the daily perspective above us? When we gapped up, did we fill that gap? Like in the ES right here, right? Didn't we have in the NASDAQ on the RTH, didn't we have a gap like this? So like here, right? This is the 24th, which is Friday. Didn't we have an unfilled gap in the NASDAQ? And then we gapped up today. Did we fill that gap? I wish I had the NASDAQ up right now. I'd be able to tell you, you know what I could do? I could just do this and answer my own question. Let's do that. Let's just pop this up. Okay, so this is the ES still. Let's do NASDAQ real quick. And then we need all time frames on this. Let's take a look. I can answer my own question. Interesting. Is this where we're trading at right now? Is 28? Is this what you're seeing on your charts? Is it 28,307? Is that where we're trading at right now? Or am I missing something? All right. I got to bring something up here. I got to take a look what the hell's going on. Well, this is an M and Q right now. Oh, God bless it. I am on a replay right now. I'm not even on live data. Never mind. I can't do this anyhow. God, that's dumb. Make myself laugh sometimes. I'm on a replay at the moment. There we go. Let's just go ahead and get me out of this position. There we go. Thank you. Now, let's go ahead and go to live. I want to see what's going on here. It's always a good thing about replay. If you really want to get out of the position, it's easy to do so. The market did end up going up. Anticipated it was going to go up, but I should have been short and then go long at the lower end of the range. It's dumb. Anyways, the ES. I liked that. I'm going to practice the ES more. I may come back to it at another time where we will see what I decide to do. You'll be back? You're back testing with me as well? Well, thank you. I appreciate it. See? It's always more fun to do things with others. Yeah, no, we didn't. So the ES gapped, but the NASDAQ didn't. And this is us now, just, yeah, moving higher. God, Vito, you're so amazing. You told me to, and I was not paying any attention. Okay. All right. You know what we're going to do this next week, guys? I mean, look at this. I mean, this is even on a 5-minute on the NASDAQ. Okay. Look at this. I mean, seriously. We come up here into VWAP. Okay. We reject into VWAP. We have our gap. Okay. We reject into VWAP. Right up here. Right. Price action comes back down. Look where it goes to. Look where it goes to. Directly into the high volume from the reversal down here. Okay. So we have this gap up, right? This is the opening bar. When we come down and we create this low in here, this low is off of this high volume down in here, the VPOC of that previous bar, right? We come right back down into the high volume area after rejecting VPOC or VWAP, come right into the lower, the S1 band of VWAP and just start trading higher. I guess that's the ES. What did the NASDAQ do? That kind of irritates me. I should have listened and been long. Buy them books and send them to school, and what do? They burn them. That was dumb. Okay, so here's the NASDAQ. But look, the NASDAQ did exactly the same thing. Okay? We come in here. Here's a little portion, right? This is our low off of the gap. And we come up and we're holding VWAP. We're holding. What do? We come right back down into the high volume again. The high volume test, and then we just trade higher in both the markets. And look at the opportunities, the multiple opportunities of getting in and scaling into this area. Because if you're in there, you can easily turn around and start looking for your entries right in here too, over here. Damn it. Why didn't I listen? Because I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed all the time. All right. On that note, what did I learn today? I can still scalp the ES, but only on a 5-minute chart. I can find areas in the NASDAQ, but not be here to trade them. Where is it? $28,528,282. 28.5, 28.282. $28,500 right there. Immediately buyers. Damn it. Hold on a second. Sorry, I didn't want to cough anybody's eardrums out. Patient, yeah. Well, Patience and I, we shook hands and said goodbye a long time ago. We are not friends. But look at this though, coming right back down here into this area again. I could see another long right here in this area. I could absolutely see a long in here. Starting to develop. Even with this downturn here. Well, guys, you guys might have just gotten your wish. What did you ask me for at the beginning of the stream? You guys asked me for a possible, podcast. All right. Well, more on that later. I don't know if it's going to be a podcast, but I have a feeling it's going to be something. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. If I ever do anything, it's brewing ideas. And I have ideas of brewing right now. So this area in here is where I was looking at holding. I've already traded below it. We got the VPOC right. The VWAP. Damn it, why do I always call it VPOC? VWAP above us. We're trading right back into that area again. Now is it going to hold a support? Okay. Let me get back onto a regular time frame in here. Now we can get back to a 2-minute. There it is. Oh my God, is it already 8? Jesus. And there's the 2-minute right here. Right down to that low. Right down to that low. Now look for a continuation play to the upside. Well, I mean, it's already taken place, but you know what I mean. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm getting tired. All right. Well, on that note, thank you everybody for being here. I truly appreciate you all the support, all the love, all the subscriptions, all the follows, all the likes, all the thank yous. Just, you guys are absolutely amazing. Good session in the ES. I'm upset that I missed the NASDAQ. I'm upset that I missed the calling in that. But I think there's going to be more things to come here in the near future. But more on that later. Thank you all so much for being here. Leighton, thank you. Truly, truly appreciate each and every single one of you. I will be back on tomorrow, New York time, 10 to 11 a.m. And then again, around 3 p.m. New York time for practice and just going over information. Again, I do this every day, day in and day out. This is what I do. If you have any questions, I do have a Discord. You can ask questions in the Discord if you just want to join the community. We are growing a pretty decent community of traders in the Discord itself. So if you're interested in that, let me get you the link for that into TikTok for all my TikTok folks. And then for anybody that's interested in that might be lurking around in YouTube, there it is for you as well. That didn't work for whatever reason. Let's just go ahead and put this in. There we go. Well, on that note, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for being here. Truly appreciate each and every single one of you. And as always, until next time, be safe, be kind, and know that you are loved. I love you guys. You're amazing and truly appreciate you.